Ooh, so you're lucky number two.
All right, let's go.
So tonight we're gonna dig into your mind and find out more about you and more about the streamer Supermanthony.
Okay.
I hope you're ready. I wore my favorite shirt just so
Oh,
just
nice, nice. Repping the DC. I see you out
oh
here.
yeah, just to show you who the better one is. But that's okay. That's
I wouldn't go that far, but
I
you've got
mean,
like host privilege though, so I'll let you go on this one.
oh man. Well, tell us about yourself.
Well, I mean, I'll okay, yeah. I stream on Twitch, obviously.
Hmm.
I do a lot of variety stuff. I am currently in school to be a therapist one day, so I'm a psych major. And I just am a massive people person, so that's probably why I chose the career path that I did.
Nice.
And I am just very loud, outgoing, and low key annoying. But it works. It absolutely works. But that's me in a nutshell. I don't know. I'm an open book though, so
You think
here
you're
we are.
annoying?
Sometimes I'll like talk to people and I'm like, yo, I think I'm a bit much sometimes. I'm like, no, we'll see what happens. But it's touch and go on some days.
I don't think so though. Not
Well,
from what
that's
I've
nice.
seen.
Well, if I told you how many times I got in trouble at school and with like teachers and parents because I talk too much or because I'm too loud, like it would probably blow your mind. No, it wouldn't. No, I lied to you. No, it wouldn't. You'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I can see that.
You talked about your childhood. Tell us about your childhood then.
So I am the oldest. Okay. I am one of five,
Uh-huh.
and that's super annoying because after a while when I got old enough I was basically changing the diapers of everyone below me, so I was
Oh
like getting
no.
real triggered with my mom for
Oh
having
no.
another kid. I'm like, really, we're doing this again? This isn't even your kid, this is our kid now. And
Oh man.
it wasn't like, once they got older though, like now I love them to death, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to like kill them every so often, but
Oh
at the
wow.
time it was pretty stressful, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. um but freaking, I feel like at a very young age,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure what age it was, but my mom and dad split very, very young. And I felt like I had to be a very mature person. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that had to like that kind of aged me in the sense of being a kid. So that's relevant because that kind of like, I would say, dictated the rest of my life, so
Uh-huh.
to speak. So I'm a very cautious individual, and I'm a very slow acting individual sometimes because of all that. But
Mm.
you know, I think yeah. So then, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
this has a very good ending, I swear.
Okay, that's
Okay,
a
so how this went down too. Okay,
uh-huh.
I have a love of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So that started because when I was younger and my parents split, at
Yeah.
some point I was like, okay, well, I want to escape reality. So I did video games and I also went to superheroes. And
Mm-hmm.
then a show called Smallville came out, and it
Uh-huh.
was, Clark Kent as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually, how he grew up. And I was
Yes.
like, yo, that's dope. So then eventually I started binge watching Smallville like it was my Bible. And that
Oh.
was just the tale of Superman. So then now, even to this day, at the age of 29, I ask myself, what would Clark Kent do? And I sometimes watch episodes of Smallville
Mm.
to see what Clark actually did in some certain episodes. And yeah, I'm a Superman fan.
So you use episodes as a guide for life, basically?
So, oh my gosh, yeah. When I was younger, I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. I should go to season 2, episode 6, and then
Oh
like that.
wow.
Swear, I was really, really freaky about that kind of stuff. I don't know. I was
That's cool. That's
lame.
cool. Somebody in chat is being very happy that you play Genshin Impact. We'll get into that later because I know you have a love for that game.
Oh my gosh, I'm just such a weeb. Represent.
You could pull up chat too if you want to see like the questions and see what they're talking about while we
Okay.
talk, if it's not too distracting.
No, 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 not at all. Not at all.
Okay. So, okay, I want to start here, but you won't see this if unless you're on the screen with the chat. But I want to show chat something that happened a few months ago
Okay.
between yourself and me.
Okay.
You remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you mean
You made a
when you first
promise.
came in?
Yeah, you made a
When you first came
promise.
in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Yeah, I remember that. Like I swear to God, like certain Twitch names really do get me. Like for real. And I'm super like lame in that regard where I get such a kick out of usernames because it just can sometimes show the creativity of
Mm-hmm.
other individuals. So when I saw your name on Twitch, one, I thought it was absolutely hilarious because you're just like, screw it, this is my name now. I just didn't get the name I wanted. And I'm like,
Yep.
bruh, gold. And then like two, I was like, okay, this dude is just like I don't even like just like a witty human being, you know? So like I immediately fell in love with you before I even got to know who you were as a
Oh
person.
man.
So I was like, this guy's gonna be good. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, so I'm gonna play the clip now.
Name I wanted. God, I'm wearing bunny ears. Jesus. Oh my god. That's the best name I've ever seen in my entire life. That is the best name. I'm done. I that's it. We quit Twitch. That's they won. That's it's a wrap. It's literally a wrap. Oh my god. You should realize Rain gave us your identity thing.
Man, that was a fun night for me.
I mean, I'm glad that you kind of even just enjoyed hanging out. Like, I swear to God, I'm just like this massive like derp, like 24/7. So, you know, I just kind of appreciate anybody who's willing to hang out. I swear.
So explain the rabbit ears since we saw that.
Okay, so I had rabbit ears because at first I had the Batmanthony thing,
Mm-hmm.
which that came about because I was doing a Batman franchise run
Mm-hmm.
and I went to a freaking costume store and I was like, just give me the plastic mask with the little strap in the back and I'm good.
Yeah.
And then they were like, ooh, we don't have that. We only have this really, really legit leather mask. And I'm like, that's a bit much. And then I spent like 30-40 bucks on it and I wanted to walk out of there with like a $5
Wow.
plastic toy, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, screw it, I'm dedicated to what's happening right now and this is going to
Wow.
happen. And then later on, it was around Easter time, and I was hanging out with my buddy, and he was like, "Hey, you do Batman, you should get these ears and do like a bunny thing. You know, you're friends with Lua. Lua would love that." And I'm like, "I guess maybe." And they were
Mm.
like $1. So I was like, "All right, Easter stream, let's go, bunny ears." And then I'm
Mm.
like, "Well, I don't want to just get rid of them, so we'll just put some more use to them." And then it became Bun Manthony, and that's
Bon
how I go.
Anthony. Is that redemption still, or you took it away?
Oh my god, I took the redemptions down. I took the redemptions
Oh.
down. So what happened was the bunny ears not as much. I didn't really care too much, but the leather mask was
Mm.
slowly breaking my psyche for
Oh,
the
really?
Batman thing.
Why?
Oh my gosh, dude, you couldn't really see very well, but I would be sweating profusely in that
Oh.
leather mask. Oh my gosh. I've got like, just regular room light, but then I have this freaking ring light and then just like all of the light would just make me sweat and then I'm like super loud and crazy
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sweating
yeah.
from natural causes and then when I take it off it's just like a bucket of water, dude. It was
That's crazy.
insane.
Oh man.
And they're like, "But we want Batman Anthony." I'm like, "Well, I'm dying inside, okay? You don't want a dead streamer, do you?"
I know. I'm gonna have a duck bill soon because apparently I'm a duck.
A duck?
That's my running theme here. I don't know why.
Okay, there's no backstory behind you being a duck.
Okay, so where I'm from, we drink cocoa tea. So from
Mhm.
the actual plant, we make tea out of it. And I used to take my bread and dip it in the tea and eat the bread like that. So they're like, only
Okay.
ducks do that. You're a duck now.
As soon as you said dip bread in the tea, I'm like, yeah, some duck shit. All right, I get it. I get it.
It's ridiculous. Oh man. Okay. Let's go back still. Describe your childhood some more in terms of gaming. What got you into gaming?
Goodness gracious, what got me into gaming? I think my family.
Hmm.
So my parents split at a young age, and I still got to see my dad. And my mom, her brothers played video games too. I'm trying. Oh
Mhm.
God, we're going deep. I haven't thought about this in a minute.
So we do.
Um, and freaking, they like introduced me to all the gaming stuff. My uncle had like an Atari, had a Super Nintendo, and I'm like, yo, this is dope. And they're just like, all right, cool, just play these and just leave me alone. And I'm like, I'm down.
Yeah.
And then my brothers and cousins were doing it, and then I just never looked back. I guess I had a family full of gamers. Yeah, I guess so. Jeez, oh, how about that for
That's nice.
memories suppressed or something? Jesus.
I know. So when last you thought about that?
I don't know. I guess like I don't know. It's just like you would think it's a common question for a lot of people, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I just never really think about it too much. It doesn't really get brought up, and then
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's just like, "Oh my god, I had a Nintendo 64. I'm just a gamer Mario." But
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, "Wait, let's go deeper than that. At what point did I play my first one?" I'm just like, "Yo, wait a minute," and then I just have
Oh,
like these
yeah.
like childhood flashbacks, and yeah.
Mm.
What about you though? What was your first gaming stuff like? What happened with that?
I would assume it's something I don't remember because my cousins were older than me and they had video games growing up, so they would always be playing, and I guess it was on the Atari, but I have no idea what it was. So the first game I actually know
Yeah.
that I loved was Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island.
Okay.
Yoshi's Island 2, Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we played that game a lot, and Donkey Kong and Super Nintendo basically was my era.
Those games were hard as sin, by the way.
They were.
Actual hard as sin.
So what I learned streaming is that playing a game that you played as a child is so much more infuriating now because you know you're supposed to be able to do it now because you're older. Meanwhile, it's like no, it's the same difficulty.
No, yeah, absolutely. And then I would argue that it's
Mm,
harder to play games while you're streaming because you're doing like multiple things at a time. So
mm,
like your attention split, and
yeah.
then a game that shouldn't be that hard turns into like this legendary edition Halo
Mm-hmm.
match. So yeah.
Yep. Like streaming and playing is a lot harder because you gotta focus on the game and still focus on chat and be entertaining. It's a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
It's a lot.
for
What was
sure.
the longest video game binge you had?
Longest video game binge?
Mm-hmm.
It was way before I was streaming. There was um I'm not sure. Are you allowed? This is like a very PG podcast. Like I'm like 16, but I
This is
still like.
R rated.
Okay, all right, okay. I mean, I don't need to go the full R, but like 16 is enough for me. You know that. But freaking, there was a moment where Skyrim came out for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and my buddy had a little apartment
Mm-hmm.
house thing, and it got really bad cell phone reception in his house. So what we did was we just turned our phones off, and which was not a great idea because
Yeah,
when God, I don't even know how old I was, maybe 18, 19, something like that, and I was still
probably.
like at home,
Mm-hmm.
and freaking nobody could get a hold of me, and we spent just about a week inside of the house, but like
Whoa.
there's no multiplayer on
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim. So what we did was we just mashed two TVs and then put them really close to each other, and then just
Uh-huh.
sat on the couch for like a week straight going over the missions together.
Wow.
And we had pizza, we had chips, and like you would think some homeless people broke into this house and just set up camp. How we
Mm-hmm.
were like living for like a week straight. I kid you not. And yeah, yeah, it's one of those moments where you see sunlight for the first time. You're just like, what is that?
Did you
Uh,
plan this beforehand, or was it like a spur of the moment thing? Like, did you have
no, it
food? Did
was
you
it
have
was it
water?
was low-key spur of the moment. It was low-key spur of the
Wow.
moment. And then like as we started getting going, we're like, bro, this is about to be pretty serious. So then we go to Walmart and then we start
Okay,
setting up
okay,
camp.
okay. Yeah,
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 and then
yeah.
we just never left. Locked the door, didn't talk to
Ooh,
nobody.
that's crazy. I spent the weekend playing Final Fantasy one time.
Oh, which one?
7. That was the first one
7?
I ever played. It
Nice.
got me in there.
Tifa or Aerith?
Yuki?
No,
Yuffie?
you
Oh,
can't choose that. No, that's not an option, okay? Jeez.
I'll go with Tifa. I don't like Aerith. I don't like hope and
All right,
positivity
good.
and all
You
that
also
stuff.
don't like confrontation because I would have came after you if you would have said anybody other than
What do you
Tifa,
mean? But
but
you like Asuna, and I
yeah.
like
What about
I
Asuna?
like Alice. So
No, Alice is great though. I love Alice. Alice is like right there with Asuna. It's so like I'm okay with that. Now, if you would have said somebody bad like Sinon, or if you
Xenon.
would have said anybody else like Liz or something, there would have been
Oh
some
man,
beef. I don't
nah.
know.
I have beef with Liz because I played SAO MD on mobile,
Mm-hmm.
and Liz is the girl that you see when you do your summons and your weapon scouts. So like
Okay.
I associate bad luck with Liz and like hatred with Liz, you know.
That is 100% fair, and they
Oh
couldn't have
yeah.
chosen a better character for that situation.
Speaking of waifus, so Ramina said that you have a waifu who is who?
I have too many to count. I'm an
Oh,
anime
it's
whore.
Amber. Is Amber one of them?
Amber.
Yeah.
Amber. Amber from Genshin?
Yeah.
Oh no. Listen. Amber's great. Don't get me wrong. All right. She occasionally pisses me off, and I have words for her. Okay, but I'm a Jean stan. Okay, we're all about Jean, and if it ain't Jean, then it's freaking Barbara. All
He
right. So
said
that's
he
that's
said
where it's
chat is
at.
leaving. Chat is leaving.
Oh, that's fine. I will convert everyone in chat.
Oh
Jeez.
my
Show you all
goodness.
the way.
That's funny. So top 5 favorite animes.
Oh God, I am bad with like comparisons.
Hmm.
I'm the kind of person that literally just takes it for what it is. I'm
Hmm.
never like, this is the best day I've ever seen in my entire life, or this is the best food I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh,
I genuinely look at life and just think, this is good, this is okay, probably wouldn't do it again. So like, I don't have like a ranking chart,
that's
but
literally a
like,
ranking chart.
no, it's not like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's more of like a category, subcategories instead of like an actual like ranking, if that makes any sense.
Okay, okay.
But as far as like top 5, if I could just list off the 5 things that I'm thinking about currently in
Mhm.
anime life. I'm a filthy casual though, so again,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
thought
yeah,
your chat left before. If they ever came back, they're gonna leave again. So I would say right now, obviously, Sword Art. I'm
Mhm.
a massive Sword Art person. I am currently way more invested in ReZero than I thought I would ever be.
Mm.
Um, let me see here. There was God. There's so many. There's so many animes that I feel like if I pick the wrong one, I'm gonna get crucified. Um, I mean, does Dragon Ball Z count? Because that's a staple. Even up to Super that just came out recently. That shit kind of went hard, and
Yeah.
it is dope. Was that 3? Freaking there's an anime that's called Guyver Bio Boosted Armor, goes kind of hard. Watched
Mm.
that as a kid. It wasn't the greatest thing I was supposed to be watching in the entire world, but
Uh-oh.
that's neither here nor there. Very awesome, very gory.
Mhm.
Um, and one more that I could probably name off the top of my head. I watched Violet Evergarden recently
I don't know what any of
enough. It
these
was like
are.
several months ago, but
Mm.
man, that cried like a baby, grown ass man sobbing at his boy's house. It's terrible.
Man.
But yeah, what about you?
Hunter x Hunter, Sword Art. I like a anime called Gungrave.
I think I've heard of that one.
Diamond No Ace, which is baseball, and I guess Dragon Ball.
Okay,
Yeah,
I feel it. I feel it.
most of it. Yeah.
I've never watched a lot of like animes based on like sports before.
Hmm.
I just can't like picture an anime on a sports because like I'm super invested in like basketball. I'm super invested in like football.
Yeah,
So like watching it on anime, I'm sure it's great. Don't get me wrong,
it's
but
super hype.
like I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't know. Maybe I should just do it just to find out what it's all about. But like,
Yeah.
I just love basketball too much that I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to watch that.
There's a basketball anime that I think it's good. I don't remember the name though, because I can't remember any of these names of animes. It's too much. There's so much anime out there.
There's so much anime
You ever
out
went to
there.
an anime site and looked at the list of all the running anime?
Hmm.
It's a lot.
There's literally too much, and then it's funny too because you're on the internet, and then
Hmm.
someone comes in and goes, "Have you seen X,
Oh,
Y, and
yep.
Z show?" And you're like,
Hmm.
"No." Oh, you're not even a real fan. And then I'm like, I'm sorry. Let me add to the list of things everyone else said I should watch.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly. How do
God.
I make time for this?
That's what I'm saying. You
And they
sleep,
want you
you
to
eat.
watch One Piece, which has like 900 episodes. I'll
I
never be
refuse
caught
to
up.
watch. No. Mm-mm.
I'll
That
never
is
be
something
caught
I
up.
would never go down.
I tried twice. I stopped at 16 twice. It was too daunting. Way too
Um,
daunting.
no, yeah, and I would never be able to get on to any of that. Jesus.
Mm-mm.
Um, but yeah, One Piece never gonna happen. Never. That's it.
I mean, I'll play the games if they ask me to, but that's about it.
I probably won't even do that because I don't even know what's happening in it. I'm like, we got a rubber band man. What about it?
The TI is in there? Damn.
Yeah, I had it's DLC.
Mm. All right, this is a kind of deep question. So when you're streaming, where does Anthony end and Supermanthony begin?
Honest to God, I kid you not, they're like actually the same person.
Mm.
There is no like, Supermanthony Anthony, like genuinely. And if I had to put like my like hypeness on like 1 to 10 on
Mm.
and off stream, I would say that like on stream I'm like probably a 10, and then
Mhm.
off stream I'm like a 9. So like
Wow.
I'm still like right there, and I'm still yelling, I'm screaming, I'm freaking out, doing just derp shit. I'm talking to myself off stream. And that's a lot of the reason why I got into it in the first place, is because my buddy was like, dude, I think you'd be great at streaming, because
Yeah.
he would back in the day, my buddy Nick and like family members and other friends, they would, before I even knew we knew what Twitch was,
Yeah.
they would buy games, or we
Mhm.
would rent games, and they would be like, hey, I want you to play this. And I
Mhm.
was like, that's weird, we can play a co-op game or something. And they're like, no, I like watching you play games, swear to God, we're just teenagers. And I'm like, that's weird, but okay. So like when you hear me on stream and I'm like, stop us, like, the going
Yeah,
100%
yeah,
in,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing that shit in real life, even if I'm not streaming, okay?
Mhm.
Because I'm
Mhm.
just that much of a derp. And
That's
that
funny.
they're like, you should definitely try streaming. And I'm like, Okay, I guess so." And then
Mm.
that was it. So I try to do my best to be like as literally like transparent as humanly possible,
Yep, that's
so
good.
there's not much of a correlation between the two.
So
So
you had no trouble stepping into this realm, basically.
no, not
At
at
least
all.
on the personality side.
Yeah, from the personality side, and it's weird because like, everybody's built differently. So
Mhm.
for some people it's really mentally draining to stream constantly, and I get that. I can understand where that comes from.
Mhm.
But like I'm so extroverted to a fault that like once I get going and I see people talking to me and I'm like, let's go, I get my energy from like chat and from
Yeah,
like my
yeah,
friends
yeah.
and everything, and I'm like ready to go constantly, which is why I like, God, I think just like last week or something like that, I like streamed 6 out of 7 days and I didn't even realize it, because I was just like, oh, let's do it again. Oh, let's
Yeah,
do it
yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah. That's how it
Like
is.
I just love it so much, and I don't really get burnt out from it. Like it's like the easiest part of like the content creation in my opinion. But
Nice.
everyone's different though,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So how long
there's
have you
that.
been here streaming?
I've been streaming for 3 years.
Oh, 3 years. And he
Yeah.
has 1 million followers,
No, Jesus
averages
Christ. Oh my God.
10.9K views.
Oh
It's
Jesus. Can't even.
but how's your growth been in your opinion?
Um Funny you should mention that. So recently there's like streamer Twitter.
Mm.
Um on streamer Twitter, everyone was like, this is my growth from last year and this is my growth today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not one to be like
Yeah, yeah,
metrics.
yeah.
Everyone look at me. Like I get it. I love the growth. I love seeing people grow and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I'm not the kind of person that's like numbers, follow count, view count. Like I
Hmm.
think about that stuff, but I'm not one to put it out there on display, And
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
talk to my homies about it or whatever here and there, but I don't know. I'm not that kind of person. But I
Mm.
was curious about it. So I looked at my analytics recently, and for the entire first year of my streaming career, like the entire year,
Yeah.
I averaged 3 people for
Mm.
365 days.
Wow.
And for the second year, the
Hmm.
next 365 days, I averaged 7 people. So
Okay.
for 2 years, I was streaming. I was not even getting double digits. I
Yeah.
remember sitting in my bed or laying in my bed or whatever. I would look at my phone because like you get little emails that says, "Hey, this is
Yeah.
your stream summary,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be looking at it. And if it would even come close to like 10, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're killing it. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go." I would get so excited if I ever reach 10 viewers.
Yeah.
And then now I'm averaging like what, 25, 30,
Yep.
which is super nice. And
Mhm.
looking back and then thinking about that, and then like where I'm at now, which is still not big. Okay, there are so many people who are way more massive than I
don't
am.
know what
I
you're
am a
talking about.
speck in the ocean. Okay, but looking back, it's super like humbling to be like, all right, I kept up with this for 3 years. And I
Mhm.
would argue that I didn't start getting serious about streaming until this past year.
Okay.
So that's where a lot of I would say the growth came from, is me actually buckling down and going over VODs and getting serious about social media
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
all that stuff too.
Okay, cool. So how has college affected the balance between like personal life and streaming life?
Oh my Lanta, I can't even explain. So I hate it so much. I hate it so much because like I want to get good grades, but at the same time I want to still grind on like, streaming and content
Mm-hmm.
creation and stuff like that. and I'm passionate about psychology and I'm passionate about freaking streaming. But then you realize as you start to do both consistently, I'm like, well, I kind of enjoy streaming a
Yeah.
lot more than school, which is very dangerous because then
Oh
you start
yeah.
thinking about school even less.
Mm-hmm.
And freaking it gets tough because the priorities get changed around a little bit, and I'm
Yeah.
already like a low-key procrastinator when it comes to things.
Uh-oh.
But then like when school, which is starting up in a week by the way, but when
Yeah.
school and freaking streaming come hand in hand for like exams and then streams, I'll prioritize streaming over like studying. And then all of a sudden I have an exam the next day that I haven't even looked over the material, and I'm like, well, that's no bueno. And then the grades start suffering. But at the same time, I'm like a top tier BSer when it comes to classwork. So, it hasn't fully bit me in the ass yet. And I'm kind of waiting for the day to get like completely humble checked. But surprisingly, it hasn't really happened. But I need to get better with that 100%. And it's hard because when I have days off, I want to do things on those days off, stream related. So like, and I should be studying. So I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm like, all right, cool. Tuesday, Thursday, let's just do schoolwork. And then I'm like, well, what about a podcast? What about
exactly?
YouTube?
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to fill in the gaps with something stream related.
Basically. So you get it. You do this stuff too.
I mean, I work full time from 7 to 5, and then I have 2 hours where I don't do anything, and then stream. Then Tuesday I take it off to spend time with my wife, so she can have time, and then that's how it is. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's dope, dude.
Yeah, man.
Like I can't even. You see, and you got a missus. Like I couldn't wrap my head around being in a relationship and doing this as hard as I'm going right now too. Because like funny enough, like a couple years ago, I was in a relationship with someone as I was streaming, and we got into fights constantly about streaming.
Yeah.
And and then of course I'm just like, well, it's either going to be her or streaming, and I'm not going to finish streaming anytime soon.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
yeah, I had it was a wild ride.
Oh,
but I'm just doing my thing now while I stream. So here we are.
I guess you don't regret it at all?
No, God, no.
Okay.
No. She was a great person. Nothing ill to say about her whatsoever, but just priorities in life were completely different and not compatible.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, especially when they don't do gaming at all, it makes it even harder. But go ahead.
Somebody asked what helps you stay focused. I guess they mean on streaming or in school. But what helps keep focused?
So my thing is, what helps me stay focused, honestly, is just listen. None of these answers are going to surprise you whatsoever. Okay, so before you go, oh God, I could have saw that on YouTube. Okay, but like, honestly, doing something that you absolutely love for the right reasons, you'll be naturally motivated constantly. There's like a video game you love.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and say, gosh, how do I stay motivated on this video game that I love to play all the time? You don't. You love to play it. You'll always find time to do it. So then you always get around to it. But if you're doing something you hate, and then you're like, well, how do I stay motivated? Well, then, that's like, I would argue, like working out. It's kind of hard to get into at first, but you can do inspiration, you can watch videos, you can listen to podcasts, but that stuff is like super temporary, and it's not gonna like carry you through every single workout, through every single study session. What you need to do is use the inspiration that you get from there and start to make a routine, because the habit will then make you stay focused, because you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, but like I need to. And then your body goes into, I need to do this, and it's weird if I don't. So then, you don't need the motivation anymore. It's just like a habit. And that's basically how I like stay focused and stay like on the grind with certain things that I have going on. But nice. I rant a lot, so
that's fine. I remember you said when you're nervous, you talk a lot.
That too. Gosh, I just don't shut up. Holy shit.
It's okay,
I remember,
man. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. So, small rant here, okay?
There
were years ago, okay? There was this girl I was talking to. I was so freaking nervous, okay? Years and years ago, okay? Listen, I am such, a put together human being now.
Okay, gotcha.
But I remember specifically, I will never forget this till the day I die. I was like, yo, this girl is way like just out of my league is what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, I don't even know how I'm here right now. I don't know how do you breathe? What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
people usually clam up, when they get nervous. They're like, maybe kind of fumble over their words.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I gave her an entire TED talk. Okay,
Wow.
over like bullshit, like actual bullshit. I'm like, oh well, I like doing this, and sometimes this. I wasn't breathing. I was just
Oh my
going. I had
goodness.
learned some new ability to like inhale and exhale and not stop. And then I just remember her just staring at me like, is he okay? Is he gonna die?
Oh
And then
man.
like, and then, and then like the worst part about it was I was talking so much that when it was over, my dude was like, "What'd you guys talk about?" I'm like, I don't even know if I talked to her, dude. What? I blacked out, and
Oh wow.
I was just like, yeah. No. And so yeah, that's the day I learned that I had a nervous tick of talking too much. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
good
Interesting.
times.
Yeah. I want to go back and talk about your major, which is psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So do you ever feel like it's a match for streaming in a way where people come to you with what's bothering them and you have to like kind of guide them through that somehow?
Um, yes and no. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that is a very case to case basis on streaming because again, I'm constantly on Twitter, I'm on streamer Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I see people like different streamers constantly go, I'm not your
Yep,
therapist.
yep,
Normalize people not dropping their entire life story in your chat.
yeah.
And I get that. I 100% get that because like not everybody's trying to like deal with all that. They're trying to have like a good fun experience, they're
Mm-hmm,
not trying to get
mm-hmm.
like crazy deep.
Yeah.
But I personally really like people and
Mm-hmm.
I personally like going deep in conversation. And sometimes it's not pretty. I feel like most of the time it's not pretty.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
like I like going there though.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people do come in and then they drop like this heavy stuff, I try to make the best out of what's going on. I try
Yeah.
to make it light, but at the same time try to like, be as helpful as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm. I
So like it
understand.
doesn't really bother me too much though.
Yeah, cool.
What about you
It's
though?
it's
What do you do? What do you do with that stuff?
I mean, since I'm already pretty chill, it's like it doesn't really shake me, but it's like I want to help them the best I can. So I give them the best advice I can at time. And then if they come back again later, I ask them, how that thing go? And I just follow up with them and see how that goes.
Okay, so you like reach out to your viewers and like kind of DM and be like,
No,
"Yo,
no,
what's
no,
going
no.
on?"
When they come back to the stream and say hi, I ask them how that thing go, how are you now? Because I remember everybody that comes in basically.
Okay, see, sometimes
See,
depending on if they're like a regular or not,
small streamers like
yeah,
us remember everybody, but big streamers they forget people's names.
that is only. And first of all, I'm not a big streamer, so you stop doing that, okay? Gosh, I was forgetting people's names when I had like two people in my chat. Like, you remember me? And I'm like, I don't know, were you here yesterday? So like, I don't want to hear that. Secondly,
Oh man.
I depending on if they're a regular, I'm the
Mm,
kind of person that will go like if they're in my Discord, I
yeah.
will message them and be like, "Yo, how is this going?" or
Mm,
"Talk to me about this."
yeah,
And
yeah.
or I leave my DMs open constantly so people can be like, "Yo, I'm going through this." And I'll get
Okay.
back to it as soon as I humanly possibly can.
Mm,
And I like to it's the community, it's the fam.
yeah,
So I always got time for the squad, or at least I will always make time as much as I can.
yeah.
And but I don't think too many people do that though. So
No, because
yeah.
they're trying to have this is push where streamers aren't therapists, which is true. I understand that, but people still need people, and you're here as I don't know what to call it, but you're here as a figure in their life, and they can talk to you, and you talk back to them.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel
Because
like just like my mentality on that is like, even if I can help just one person, and I genuinely mean that shit. If I can help just one person, then like I feel good. I feel fulfilled.
yep, yep.
And you know, some people I think people will come in and be like, hey, I got X, Y, and Z going on, and
Hmm.
I got a couple good laughs in the stream today, really lifted my spirits.
Yeah.
And like that means the world to me. Like,
Hmm.
and the thing too is like a lot of people who will say that aren't people who even type in chat all the time. I'll see a
Ever.
random like lurker
Hmm.
who will just like pop in and be like, "Hey, you did this," and I'm like, "Who are you, Jesus? What?" But
Yeah.
it's always nice.
But that's the thing with having like 30, 40 viewers, like not everybody can talk at the same time. Sometimes you
Hmm.
miss something and then you didn't know that they were there. And that's the thing. So how do you balance having a big audience and playing the game at the same time?
So simple answer is something's gonna suffer, and the first thing is my gameplay. And
Mm,
in case you couldn't tell, yeah, I'll blame it on that. Absolutely, not
definitely.
because I'm bad at what I'm doing, but
Definitely.
it's chat first. But in reality, though, like I really do prioritize the community over everything,
Yeah.
absolutely everything. So like, cause like I'm here for everybody, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
when the homies come in, they're like, "Yo, what's going on? It's been a minute. How's life?" And I'm
Yeah.
playing the game. You know, as you'll see, I'll like look over at chat and talk to people, and then walk off a cliff. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that because I just want to hang out with everybody. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's kind of like how I prioritize all that stuff, basically. But like, there are certain moments where like, if I'm stuck on a boss for like hours, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I have to let everybody know I'm in focus mode. We're doing
Okay.
this shit. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta do this. I'll talk to you all later.
Nice.
But it's definitely it can definitely be a balance, especially when things get going and then people are like, you missed my comment, and I'm like, I'm not doing it on purpose, dick.
Oh
And then
man.
it oh
Oh yeah,
god.
definitely. So, yeah, have you had any bad experiences with chat besides people being ignored?
Um yes, but like, you know, I'm sure you've had your bad experiences too.
I'm too
What are you
small.
talking
I'm too
about?
small for that. What are you talking? What are you
No,
talking
no, no.
about?
You know what? I'll no, listen, I'll meet you halfway on that too, because when I very, very like first, how long you been streaming exactly?
It's been 6 months, 2 days ago.
Okay, yeah, you're still a Twitch baby. Six
That's
months?
what I said.
Okay. Yeah, but still though, I'm not saying like viewership wise. I'm saying like eyes open. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't been diluted to holy shit, this is really Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I was very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when I first started streaming Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And the reason I say that is because I couldn't really tell about the negativity that was happening, you know, within, you know, reason, the negativity
Mm-hmm.
that was happening in chat, because I was just so excited for anyone to be there that I
Yeah.
was willing to take more shit from people.
Gotcha.
And you know, as time kind of went on, I was like, it took me a while to be like, you know what? I don't need that one person here if they're making it hard for me and everyone around them.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the biggest like aha moment I've ever had in my entire life. But like, I dealt with so much stuff. So that when you're like, I don't really get negativity, like I'm sure if you look at it back and you're watching the VOD and you go, hey, that guy's being a dick. I should have said something to him. But like, you know, in the moment, you're just kind of like, oh crap, let's go. Like I got people, you know, we out here, you know, squadding up
Nah,
and
we
shit.
don't tolerate that at all here. You've been here. Like
I
it's
mean, I
really
have. It's
hard.
chill. So you've never had a random viewer come in and just say anything really weird or like backseat even, and
Well,
just tell you how to do stuff.
I've had one weird comment I remember, yeah, but it gets handled
How'd you
before
handle
I
it?
guess there. What? My mod
Oh, and
deleted
mod.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
nice, nice. See, you're
Yeah,
already ahead of the game. When I first started streaming like 6 months, my mods were very like hit or miss.
yeah.
So like they basically just weren't there.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah. So I'm thankful for mods.
I
Mods
have
are
I have
like,
some
I
great
swear to God.
mods. Yeah, I have some great mods. Um, do you ever get into debates with chat
All
that
the time.
derail you from the game?
All the time.
Oh yeah?
God, I don't even like. We'll start talking about like pizza and what
Yeah.
goes on pizza, or
Oh
like
man.
we'll start talking about like, you know, waifus. And I'm
Hmm.
playing like Dark Souls. We talk about waifus for, you know,
Yeah,
and
I've
then
seen
like
that.
I get so caught up in the conversation that I don't even know I'm on autopilot during the game, just running around in
Hmm.
circles trying to not get whacked by something.
Hmm.
And but those, I feel like those conversations though is a lot of the reasons why people like hanging out, you know, because we
Yeah.
just stick around. Like that's what you would do if you were hanging out with a friend playing a video game. You would just
Yep.
be playing the game, kind of talking to your squad, and then just kind of like vibing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I look at streaming, honestly, too. So yeah.
Your kids and your mods back in my day, we didn't have no mods. So yeah,
Back
he's
in
that's funny. What's the best console in your opinion? I know you don't have any rankings, but what's the preferred system?
so I was I just got my PC like going on 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And before I had that, I was just an avid Xbox user because I just like hanging out with the squad. So like
Uh,
there wasn't a lot of like, there's no PlayStation party or whatever. Like Xbox had like Halo and
hmm.
Call of Duty and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
other like, and all my friends had it too. So I spent way too much time on Xbox. But like PlayStation had a lot of great single player games.
Exactly.
But I spent so much time on Xbox though for the social aspect that I
Yeah,
was just like, this is it. Like Xbox is the end all be all, best console out there. Let's
I
go
could feel that.
Microsoft.
Yeah. So
But
that's a good point to make that there's no true good system besides PlayStation. Like PlayStation has the more single player, you know, you're on your own, you're doing your own
Mm-hmm.
story, and Xbox is more like family friend base. So that's the kind of games you would go for. But sometimes, you know, you play in one and you're like, oh, that game looks good though. You know, they have both.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of how I felt about it too. So I'll have like my little PlayStation benders, but then like spend most of my time like ranking up on Halo matchmaking, you know? So yeah, I get that.
So what games are you playing right now on stream?
Right now we're doing a lot of Genshin Impact.
Mm.
Just, you know, I'm anime, I'm weeb. Uh
Uh-huh.
I'm just a nerd. But I heard Neo 2 was coming out for the PC,
Hmm.
and I played it on PlayStation with a buddy of mine just this past year, like 6 months or so ago, actually 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
And I was over his place, and he was like, Neo 2, let's give it a shot. And I was like, all right, cool. And
It's
we
hard as
were
hell.
literally we took turns playing it,
Hmm.
and it was the hardest game like
Definitely,
ever.
definitely. I played it up until like 5 minutes in. I'm like, okay, next game. Like,
Oh my gosh. See, I made it towards the end of the game,
hmm
but then I ended up leaving my dude's house or whatever, and
hmm
it was his PlayStation, so the save file was over there.
uh,
And he finished it and was like, "Oh yeah, you know, you're at the end, but it was pretty good." And I'm like, "All right, sick." And then I was like, "Oh wait, it's coming out on PC. I can go back and like
you could do it
finish it
again.
now."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that.
If I see first playthrough, I'm gonna call you out.
I'm gonna say semi first playthrough. There you go.
Oh man. What makes you decide to play a game? Do you
Man,
fall for a hype, or is it more what you feel in your heart?
a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. So when it comes to streaming, I'm gonna keep it 100 too, because like a lot of streaming is a lot of like entrepreneurship and a lot of like, you know, it does come down to analytics with a lot of different things.
Hmm.
But the hard part is finding out where the analytics are gonna fall and where your happiness falls.
Mm.
Okay, because if you play a game for nothing but analytics and you hate yourself, then
Yeah.
it's almost gonna even not matter how great the analytics were because you look like you hate yourself.
Yeah.
So people can pick up on that really easily.
Hmm.
But then if you play a game that you absolutely love, but it's like got nobody in the directory whatsoever, then
Yeah.
you're not going to really grow from it, and you might as well just play it off stream, you know? I
Hmm.
mean, so there's that. So it's like, oh well, I do it for fun, which is absolutely fine and absolutely amazing. But if you do it for fun and you would also like community growth,
Yeah.
then a little bit more strategy kind of comes into it.
Mhm.
So like I like to go, okay, this is like a list of things that I would like to play, and then I go, well, how does that look on Twitch? Like, what is it? What's the rankings or whatever?
Okay.
And then I'll see what game is doing best out of the games that I want to play,
Hmm.
and then I'll kind of like go from there, basically. And then, you know,
Has there ever been a time where you just go against that and just play what you want to play?
yes,
Okay.
I have done that plenty of times. There was a Sherlock Holmes game I played, and I was on this massive kick. I was watching Elementary on Hulu, and I
Hmm.
was like, oh boy, I am Sherlock Holmes. And
Is that
yeah,
one with the little boy and his dad?
that was gosh, I don't even know what the it was Joan Watson, the chick Watson. And they were in New York, like modern day New York or whatever,
Mm.
solving cases. It was pretty dope.
Thanks for the
Um,
follow, Despicable
but
X.
the game was like, I forget, like Sherlock Holmes, like something. I don't remember what it was. It was like a really
Gotcha.
weird, like
Yeah.
backwards compatibility 360 game on the Xbox One.
I think I played that
And
one.
yeah, it was on like Game Pass or some shit like that. I'm like, I
Hmm.
don't care. I literally got on stream. I was like, I don't care. I don't care if no one shows up today. It's gonna be just me
Yeah.
playing this, and if you want to chill, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing possibly could happen at that moment was I had a friend of mine who was a bigger streamer,
Uh-huh.
Luality,
Uh-huh.
and she rated me during my Sherlock Holmes stream,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, shit, because it was like literally the most boring thing you could have ever watched ever, and she never raids me because she's got tons of people that she raids,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And that was like one of the first times she had ever done it, and I'm like, you chose now to do this,
Mm-mm.
dick move. So
Mm-mm.
like, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, like thank you, you know, I love you for it, she's great. But I was at that point, it almost like ruined a lot of the game for me because I was like, shit, well, like, you know, I'm like, all right, well, we got to go find this key, but we have to read a series of books and then find out the tips and the colors
Oh
and
man.
do footsteps and tracks. And it was
Mhm.
boring. It was very boring to watch. And yes. And then there's another game that I play that I love 100%. It's called Dead or Alive. I had discussed it on stream recently,
Mhm.
and it's a fighting game. It's
Yeah.
like a 3D fighting game, ninjas
Mhm.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it may have suggestive content in it, but that's not why I play it. It's
Okay.
just a really good. It's just a really good ninja fighting game,
Mhm.
And I love ninjas to a fault. Like if it's got anything ninja related, you know me, I'm a weeb, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
play it. And then I played every single Dead or Alive game that got released. So Dead or Alive 6 came out, and the directory wasn't necessarily popping. The
Yeah.
game died in like 3 days. I'm like, that's fine.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm playing it. We're doing this.
Yeah.
And then freaking I actually get rated again. Like when I start playing boring
Wow.
games, I got rated again by another big streamer, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Why are these girls naked?" And I'm like, "Shit, I can't explain that. I can't explain that."
Oh man.
But usually though, it's good. I would argue that once in a while, it's definitely good to get those games like out of your system. Just like I want
Definitely.
to play this game, I love it. It's not gonna do me like well, but
Mhm.
like to do it all the time is
Yeah.
not great. But
Yeah.
just why not?
So when you were playing Sherlock Holmes and it was a boring part of the game, did you bring in like some of the hypeness from your normal self to be like, let's make it a little bit more hype than just what we're doing right now? Or were you still young in your career then?
Listen, even today, there are just some things you just can't get hype about,
Oh my
and that game
gosh.
was one of them. That game was one of them. Like I had to
Oh
like
man.
read different books in Sherlock Holmes, like the actual game. I had to read the books
Yeah.
and then like read these segments of like stories of people who lived in log cabins to find certain clues, with like every other word being a clue that would
Yeah.
lead me to the
Oh my
chest to give me the key to
gosh.
open the door. You
Nah,
can't
nah,
make
nah.
that hype. I'm
Nah.
like, bro, half the time I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't even care anymore. Like, just whatever, murderer, you won.
Oh man. But
So
do
yeah.
you have to read yourself?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm
Oh,
so bad at reading.
I
I'm
hate
so
those
bad,
games.
and
I
then
hate games like
I'm the
that.
worst at reading out loud too.
Hmm.
God, God, I can't read out loud for shit.
If you ever watch me play a game and I have to read the whole thing, I'm yawning the whole time because reading puts me to sleep. It's
Yeah,
like I can't do it.
especially if it's boring reading.
Yeah,
It's like side story stuff that's nothing to do with anything, and then you're reading it like,
exactly.
oh God. So I definitely get that.
Yeah. We already talked about this. So what game do you have the most hours on, you would say?
Um, I would say that I have the most hours on Final Fantasy 14.
Hmm.
Yeah. I have an ungodly amount of hours in that game. Um, to the point where I'm like, listen, fam, like, we shouldn't bring up the hours. Like, I told my buddy the one day, I forget how many hours exactly it was, but it equated to like several months of gameplay.
Wow.
And I didn't think it was that bad. And then when I
Hmm.
told my buddy, he was like, dude, you've been sitting in that chair that long playing that game. And I'm like, yeah. And then yeah, so that's like for sure the most hours I've played in the game. And it's an MMO, so they like never end. So
Hmm.
to be fair, but
Yeah.
what about you, man?
I would say Paladins. Like new,
It's
like
a fun game.
I don't have any games from back then that I still play now. Everything I play is games that I found now for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get that.
yeah, I took a long break from like gaming period for like 3 to 4
Why's that?
years. Well, when I went to college back in the day, it was in a different place from my house. So I left the console home with my brothers and sisters. And then when I went, I just did full on school until I
Okay, yeah, I get
graduated
that.
4 years later. And then I got a PS4 for my brother, and I still didn't play it. It was just home the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a different lifestyle then. I was more outgoing or rambunctious on the streets.
Two things.
Yes.
One, I think one of your mods are having a hard time. They seem a little defective because 14 is great. It's lovely, you hater. And two,
Oh
I was gonna
no.
ask you, like, at what point did it switch over for you? At what point did you go from like, the non-gaming life and then diving back into all the rest of this stuff?
Well, somebody's calling you out, so you should talk to them about that. But
Can't play VR chat. Hi, despicable. Hi, what's up, girl? So yeah, yep, that's why you got me.
um, I just I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag and I
Hmm.
couldn't put it down. I finished the whole game. I did every single thing to do in the game, and I was like,
Wow.
yeah, I love this again. So I started playing games here and there. I played Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh,
Love
good
that
game,
game
good
too.
game.
I got most of the stuff in there too. And you know the Riddler has a bunch of stuff for you to do.
God, they never ended. Like the Riddler quest
It's like
never ended.
200 and something, but I did all of that too. So I'm like, I guess I still like gaming. Then I moved to Florida to meet my wife, and then I
Mm-hmm.
played Destiny 2, and then
Okay.
that just sucked me in. I wouldn't sleep, I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't go
Oh
to.
man.
Oh man, doing those raids over and over and over again on prestige because everyone wants to do it on the hardest difficulty. When it's like, let's just do it on easy, get over it, go back to
Mm-hmm.
playing, PvP, but whatever. Then I took another break because I had 3 megabytes per second internet in the house with
Oh God.
5 people. So I'm like, I can't party up with anybody. I can't play. I'll just put it to the side. And
Okay.
then 2 years ago, my brother asked me if we want to go on Twitch. I'm like, what's Twitch? Like, how can I not know what Twitch is? Because I'm not into things like that.
Right.
So he's like, next year we're gonna start Twitch. It's gonna help us grow, get our money up, whatever. I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll think about it. So I did research, and I'm a big research person. So I went like deep into Twitch before I even know what Twitch was. Before I even
Right.
started streaming, like how do I get people to watch me? What games do I play? All that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I got the stimulus check, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a PC. So I waited 2 months. I bought a PC,
There you go.
and I was like, okay, I don't want to stream yet. I want to be ready to stream. So I had to do overlays and like sounds and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what, babe, I'm gonna stream today. I just went, sat down, and started streaming,
There you go.
and
That's how
then
you do it.
I never stopped since.
Yeah, there's literally like no perfect time. You just gotta kind of just jump in.
Yeah, you gotta jump for it. Wow, they really bagging on 14, man.
Man, that's because listen, all right, it's hard to like just stare greatness in the face. I get that. It can be a little intimidating sometimes, but like,
I mean,
I'll,
I'm
I'll
doing it. I'm
convert
doing it
you.
right now. I'm doing it right now, and it's hard for me.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I was just looking at a degenerate in the face, and I'm just like, God, are we thinking camera today?
Oh man,
But yeah, listen, just a bunch of haters, bunch of 14 haters. Okay.
is it a hard game to get into as a new player?
No, and actually, there has been recent patches just these past few months that
Uh-huh.
got rid of like 20 to 40% of like fetch quest, like the really, really boring, irrelevant stuff.
Yeah.
They're making it like super user friendly, and it's free to level 60. So, like,
Nice.
you
Oh my
know,
gosh. Yeah.
why wouldn't you want to come in and then just join our guild and then play with us? What?
So after 6, you have to pay?
Yeah, after 60, it's like a trial period. It's a monthly MMO fee, and
Gross.
yeah.
Never mind.
Well, listen. I thought the same thing. I was like, I'm never paying for that shit. And then I jumped in, and then I was like, just take my money. I don't even care. It's whatever.
Does this sound like an
It's
ad?
fine.
Oh man.
What are you talking about? Oh my gosh.
You
Listen.
gonna see we get raided by Final Fantasy Twitch account.
Listen, if I was sponsored by like Square Enix, listen,
Uh-huh.
I'd be a happy camper.
Oh
Okay.
hell yeah.
Exactly.
Is there anybody else you'd like to sponsor you besides Square Enix that you could think of?
Starbucks would be pretty nice. Not gonna lie. That'd be pretty dope. I'm there all the time. No, just like this the regular gamer stuff. Give me like a Red Bull sponsorship. Why not? I don't even drink the stuff anymore. Actually, I got a couple of cans for like Christmas, but like I'll probably we'll see. Either way, I don't even know. Like if you got sponsored right now, what would you want to get sponsored by?
Truly.
Oh my god.
I eat Trolley almost every night on stream. Always talking
Really?
about it. Yeah. I sent him an email the other day like, hey, I'm a small streamer, but I eat Trolley every night on stream. Let's do a deal. I'm still waiting for a reply back. Hopefully it's a good one.
Oh yeah,
So I
absolutely.
started putting it
Listen.
right there so you can see it. Like I have some right here, and I
Oh
have some over
god.
here. Yeah, it's legit. It's legit.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, everyone. That looks like more of an ad than what I was doing. Just putting that out there. Trolley? You
You
mean
don't have your
trolley?
props. I even have like the trolley worms like doing a raid thing. I have it
Oh
ready.
my
I'm
god.
ready for this endorsement.
Man, just remember the little people once you get picked up, man.
If I could find any.
There you go.
There's none here right now.
If they sponsor you, bro, they're going to put money into you, and then you're just gonna go. You can be like the freaking candy king, and then it's over.
Have you ever had to like lie to play a game? Like say you were sick or you couldn't make it to this event just to play a game?
In the first year of streaming, a little bit into year 2.
Uh-huh.
I did that all the time. I was like calling in sick, and I was like, I'm like, who am I talking to? My boss? Like, it was like one of those kind of situations. Like, oh man, not feeling so hot today. And then I would like, message everybody in Discord. They're like, oh okay, feel better soon. And then I'm like, we're going out, baby. It was like one of those kind of situations. I would attribute
Oh.
that to being a lot of the reason why I had a hard time growing in the
Mm.
first year or so.
Wait, so you
Um,
put off streaming to go out?
I put off streaming in the first year.
Oh.
Because I didn't like take it, like I took it seriously for the first like couple months or so, and then like as time kind of went on, I was getting like very discouraged that like nobody wanted to hang out with me, was what it felt like. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I doing wrong? My setup was absolutely terrible. I was
Mm.
streaming directly from my Xbox One with
Uh-huh.
not amazing internet. I borrowed my friend's Xbox Connect so I could have a camera while I stream, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was reading chat off of my phone, and then I had like extra lamps, just like I bought extra lamps
Uh-huh.
from Walmart just to like place them around my room.
That's what I have right
And
now.
it was like I had a very, very, very like I just started streaming setup,
Yeah.
and a lot of that made me like really self-conscious to the fact that I'm just like, what am I doing? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be able to do anything with this. So like if I call off today, who's gonna miss me? My
Yeah, yeah,
mod and maybe like my brother or something. Like I'm fine.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, I was rationalizing it that way, and but now I'm at the point now where like if I'm just so transparent with like everyone in the community. Well, like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm feeling sick, I'll let you know. If I
Yeah.
don't feel like doing it, I will let you know. I just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot better
Yeah.
than
People in the chat
how
are
it was
saying
before.
they agree. They know that feels. I know that feels too. So I'm legitimately a small streamer compared to you. I've only been here like 6 months.
Hmm.
But I'm a perfectionist, which I found out recently. So like in my second month, I was like, this isn't working. There's nobody here. Like already ready to quit, But like my friend was like, just play what you like and do what you like. And I just started doing that. I turned off the viewer count, I turned off everything like that, and just played.
I still do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I cannot look at my viewer count while I stream.
yeah,
It stresses me out.
yeah. I know how that is, man.
I
If
don't think you will ever outgrow that, no matter how big or
yeah,
small you are, because like the thing too with Twitch is like numbers are going to fluctuate. And
mm-hmm,
here's the thing too that took me a while to realize is like when people leave the stream,
yeah,
like maybe like they had to go because they had to go to work, or
mm-hmm,
like they have to do like a paper, they can't be on Twitch, or like maybe something happened with their family. Like
yeah,
it has probably nothing to do with you, but when
mm-hmm,
you see the view count go down, you go, I suck. and
yeah,
then and then you're just like, well, I don't know what to do with myself. And then it gets in your head, and then it just turns into something it shouldn't, and it's all bad.
yeah. So what happened to me was that on my birthday, I was streaming 24 hours. I was just
Yeah, I
chilling,
remember that.
just
You were
chilling.
doing Godfall, right?
Exactly. Oh, you remember?
I was there. I was just lurking.
Yeah, but like I was just chilling with my regular people, and then in the end, it was just me and a streamer friend of mine playing not the same game, but at the same time.
Hmm.
And then a guy named Grappler raided me with 700 people. I'm like,
Saw that.
why? Yeah. So I went to his stream right after, and I was like, let me see why he raided me. It was half pity and half me. So he
I
was
do that
like,
too, actually.
a birthday stream. Let's go check him out. Wait, it's been 19 hours with 2 viewers. I guess he missed the part where I had like 14, but it worked. He's like, let's go rate
Right.
this guy. So he talked to me. He came in chat. When you come to chat to talk to me, you're just a regular person. Unless it's you who's a big streamer. Like I don't go gaga or anything like that for anybody.
Hmm.
So I was just talking to him regular. He's like, I like his vibe. Let's rate him. And then boom, the raid came. Broke my stream. And then after everybody left, it went back to normal. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it just goes to show you like you have to keep grinding, but still be you. Play games that you
Right.
like. And at that time, I liked Godfall, which was the first day it came out, and then that's when I stopped liking it. But that don't matter, because Godfall is
That's
boring
fair.
though. But
Yeah, there was some issues with Godfall. It was bad. It wasn't bad for a little bit, but didn't have a lot of longevity to it.
yeah, you can't really play it on the highest quality settings. Difficulty doesn't matter. I don't know if it does
Hmm.
now or not, but that's what it was in the beginning.
Hmm.
I used to be
Yeah, I'm
refreshing
like
my
looking
current
over at your chat
viewers
here.
when I stream. Dude, I used to do that all the time. Like, I have to have more than two. I have to have more than two. Nah, it's
Oh my
two.
gosh. Yeah, I'm like,
It's
I'm
two.
talking to at least three and it's saying two. What is this shit?
Yeah, that
Like,
happens, man.
100%.
And now I get rated like often. And it's like, I don't know you, like, but they like my name and they like my vibe, so they comment. So
It's a good name.
yeah,
It's a good name.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Your name is not that bad either.
It wasn't my first name. I actually switched it from when I first started streaming.
Is that the one you wanted?
No, I didn't care. I didn't care what name I had when I first started streaming.
Oh, okay, okay.
My original name was like my first and last name and like my high school football number. So I was just AWalk44.
Oh,
That was it. And I was like listening to podcasts because I also do a lot of research with my stuff too in the beginning. And they're like,
yeah.
you have to have a more marketable name. And I'm like, okay, get rid of all the numbers out of your name. And I'm like,
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
And then I was like, I want a pretty cool name. And then I started like, bouncing ideas off of people. And then like Supermanthony like came up and I'm like, I don't like it. No, that's not, I don't know. And then like the more I sat on it, the more I was like, screw it, we're doing it. And then like the more I said it and the more I heard it, the more I was like, all right, I'm okay with that. So yeah.
That's interesting that you're the first Anthony to try to do that.
On Twitch, yes.
Okay.
I was also pleasantly surprised. On Instagram, there's a guy with the name Supermanthony, and his account is Boss AF, and he does like cosplay stuff like that, and he has like other cosplay friends, and they're all doing like Justice League shit, and it's so legit that I couldn't even get mad that he had my name. I was like, damn, he's good. And but I did get sick at the fact that there's a Supermanthony on Twitter, and it's a dead account. No tweets.
Yeah,
no
my
likes,
my name on
no
Twitch is 1 follower. I'm like, come on, let's purge him or something.
Oh my god, I've tried. I have reported that guy so many times. I've told my friends to, and it just won't budge. I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of mob money they got for that account, bro.
But what I was asking you before is, have you ever tried to get out of doing stuff in the real world to play games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I freaking so what I'll do is listen, we all do it sometimes. Okay? I was young once. So like I had just recently did a YouTube video on like how to say no and some of the things that kind of come along with why people don't say no. And it was an easy video to record for the most part because I am, and I was not as much now, but when I was younger, I was a yes man for a lot of my life.
Yes, Manthony.
And yes, I was very much so a yes Manthony. And I just didn't want to make anybody mad. I didn't want to make anybody upset, And I was like, man, they're going to do this thing by themselves if I say no, and I don't want to be alone because I wouldn't want to be alone. So like, I would just do it like everything.
Yeah.
And so then if I had to say no, I would never want to be like 100% upfront. And then, they're like, hey, let's go do this thing, or I need you to come over here and do this thing. And I want to play video games for a game that just dropped, or my buddy's like, yo, let's game all night. And then I'm like, I can't do it. My my gerbil died. I gotta take it to the movies. What? I don't what? And then exactly. No, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I'm taking it to its favorite movie, Pets. Anyway. So I did try to get out of stuff though, so I can play video games all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a paper. I gotta do some, I got work in the morning, and I didn't. And so it definitely went both ways for sure for getting off and getting on video games.
Movie that with a dead gerbil, True Ladies Man.
True Ladies Man, what can I say? I was clearly slaying it in my younger years.
I have a introspective question here for you. Would you rather have all the time in the world to play games and only be able to play 1 or 2, or have access to any game you want with no time to play it?
So this is kind of a what is the reason why I wouldn't have time to play it? I can't imagine that.
Like, let's just say in the universe that you pick that one, you would never have time to play the game like for an extended period of time.
I mean, I look at it this way, looking at your question, it's either Do you want to be a not variety streamer and just play the same game every single day and all the time, like 5-7 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
or do you want to just stream the entire library of Game Pass?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know, because there are a lot of not bangers, and then there are some kind of bangers. But
Mm-hmm.
like, if I'm streaming all the time, or if I just like stop streaming, but then all I did was like work and stuff like that, but then that'd be kind of stressful because I love gaming so much. So I think the answer would definitely be, because like if I got to play like, I don't know, Final Fantasy for the rest of my life, I'd be like chill with that.
Okay.
But like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I play just one game forever. I'd be okay with that.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm more of a, once I find something I like, I'm a-okay with just sticking with that one thing forever.
Mhm.
I'm like weird like that. But yeah, I'd go with that one.
So
What would you pick?
I'm gonna switch it. Okay, I'm gonna pick the second one. 'Cause I get bored easily. But since it was such an easy question for you, I'm gonna make it harder.
Oh,
So let's say the games that you can play forever are like trash games, and the games that you love are the games that you can only play every once in a while.
why are you making the game? Why are you making the
'Cause
question?
I want to
easier
see.
for
I
me?
want to see how your
No,
mind
you're
goes.
making it easier
Oh,
for me,
really?
because there was a game called Dynasty Warriors Gundam,
Mhm.
and I played this trash game that had like one button to attack, and the maps were super easy, and it was just an X matching simulator, and it didn't
Oh,
win.
man.
Actually, the game was so bad they discontinued the
One second.
franchise. Okay,
Yeah.
but I put almost 300 hours into that game to unlock every
Ooh.
Gundam, to unlock every weapon, to
Mm.
unlock every map,
Mm.
and I was like, this is the greatest game of all time, and y'all just sleeping on
True
and,
gamer, a true gamer.
it.
Uh,
Oh God.
Big Bacon, this is the most wanted interviews. I interview big streamers, small streamers, it doesn't really matter.
Oh God.
Just to get into people's heads and see where they're at. Yeah, he has too much time.
Listen, those are my younger years. I think I was like 16 when I did that. But yeah, you know.
Yeah. So I guess it did make it easy for you. So you don't really care. You'd rather play longer than have short spurts of gaming.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
honestly, like the thing is too, I try, like I can kind of like feel both sides of those questions even right now.
Yeah.
Because like if I'm playing a game on stream, I'll do it for like, you know, weeks, sometimes months, sometimes depending on the game. Because I played Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 14 on stream for like 6 months this past year.
You played
before I did
Sword Art
anything
for a
else.
while too.
And then I did Sword Art for a couple months or so too. Yeah, and then but I'm content with that. But then when there are other games that sometimes I want to play off stream, but like I stream so long and so late
Yeah.
that like, and then you know you throw a job in there, you throw school in there, so then I go to like work,
Yeah.
school, eat, sleep, stream, do it again. I don't have
Yeah.
time to do anything else.
Mhm.
So honest to God, I shit you not, okay? Like from the bottom of my heart, I have not played a single player game, like a single player story game off stream in 3 years. And that like sucks but doesn't suck, because every time I see a single player game that I want to play, I'll just stream it.
Yeah.
So like I don't just sit in my room anymore and just play a solo player game and just enjoy it. Like if I do play off stream, I play off stream with like multiplayer games, like one-offs here and there with my friends,
Yeah.
and then just go back through my day. But that's like one of the sacrifices I kind of made.
Witcher 3 was fun.
That was my second time trying to play that game.
When those
First time I
dogs
couldn't
when
get
those
through it.
dogs destroyed you, oh man, I'm glad I didn't miss that.
Dude, I die in the most ridiculous ways.
I mean,
like,
but I think
Jesus.
what you said is actually it's comforting in a way, where you're no longer playing a single game by yourself. You have people watching you, people giving you input on like what you could do, like choose triangle, circle, X or square. What do you choose? Like chat could be like spamming what you could press. They could actually change the game for you and it'd be different from what you pick yourself, and then you know you have a whole new storyline basically.
There was a game like that where like chat can dictate what items you get and what levels you get or what weapon drops you get, and you know, everyone just loves seeing a streamer fail. So as you can imagine, every level was on fire. Every level had no health drops, and none of like I stopped doing those. I couldn't do them anymore. Like y'all kicking my ass.
Yeah,
Oh my
sometimes
God.
you gotta shut them up and take away, redeem, and all that stuff.
Despicable. You throw one baby in the oven, and all of a sudden nobody forgets about it. Okay, Jesus.
I think my most used redemption is I can't see. We have to take off my glasses and play. So
that sounds terrible. That
it's
sounds
I can't read chat, so I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, so this is your
okay. That's
fault.
fair.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Um, Action versus story. What's more important? And where's the balance for you?
Honestly, that's a tough one. That's a
Good,
tough one
good.
because I love myself a good action game, like
Hmm.
a good action segment in the game. But like if it's all action and no story, I lose interest. But if it's like too much story and there's no action,
You lose
then I
interest.
also like lose interest.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, geez, you gotta have that sweet spot where there's like a little bit of both.
Hmm.
And if I can find some action in my story, then I'm not too mad about it. But like it is hard too because like I said, I don't stream or I don't play single player games off stream.
Hmm.
So like when I do play single player games on stream, it's like if the story is very, very deep,
Yeah.
it's like if someone's coming in for the first time and has never seen this game and all of a sudden we're watching a movie and then like they come in the middle or the end of the movie, they're like, I
Hmm.
don't know what's going on, I don't want to be here, this is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah.
But like you've been there from start to finish because you're streaming it, so of course you're like, oh, I'm pretty invested.
Yeah,
So like the
exactly.
hard part is like the retention
Hmm.
sometimes.
Hmm.
But like if it's an action game, like for the most part Genshin Impact that I'm playing right now,
Yeah.
I'm just running around stabbing shit, doing like dumb things left and right, and then the
Hmm.
story I can like leisurely pick up, but it's not like the overall arching part of the game.
Mm.
That's easier just to come into and just watch somebody dick around with like waifus.
Yeah.
Whatever, we can all get behind that.
Hmm.
But there is something special about having some people who are like the ride or dies, coming around to every single stream for these
Yeah.
very story-based games that are
Hmm.
like, yo, I want to go on this journey with you. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh shit, let's go. And then
Hmm.
getting everyone involved is just like the greatest feeling in the world.
Yep.
And it's kind of hard to pick one or the other. So like I want to like fall somewhere in the middle
Yeah.
with that. But
That's
you know.
actually really hard. Like you playing a story game on stream, and people that were in the first stream aren't here, and these are like new people coming to watch the story. It's like, do I even play this game now? Like, it's gonna be so confusing for them to have to like
Mhm.
pick up the rest of the story that they already missed.
Right.
If you stream for 8 hours, that's like 8 hours of the game gone, basically, and it's like
Exactly.
it's a
And then
wash.
somebody comes in and goes, "What happened?" And then you're like, "Dude, I can't even tell you what happened.
Let's
What?"
watch the VOD for this whole stream.
Exactly. The
Oh
whole
my
entire
god,
thing. Just go back and come back to me.
that's actually a good answer. I like that. So co-op or PvP?
Co-op, because PvP stresses me out. PvP will ruin my entire day. Swear to God. I am so competitive almost to a fault.
Uh,
I will sit there and have a good time. Like, all right, yeah, we're doing okay. I lose here, I lose there, I lose a couple more times here, and then I'm like, all right, we're done. And then I just like I'm over it. And then like my mood's like just in the shitter, and then everyone else like, dude, you good? And I'm like, I'm fine. And then like they're like, you don't seem fine. I'm like, of course I'm fine. And then my night's ruined. But co-op, you can just dick around with your friends, no one expects too much, and then just start being just derps together, and
oh,
it's a good time. It's a
gotcha.
good time. I'd rather do that.
Someone said Final Fantasy 14 is the line between a good story and boring combat.
How are you gonna? Oh my Lanta!
Ooh,
Listen, the combat is lovely. Combat is lovely. Is that Will? Hello.
hey.
Um, the combat it gets for certain characters in Final Fantasy 14.
Hmm.
Some get a earlier start than others, and others get such a late start that the class that you pick doesn't even get fun until like with 80 levels. You won't even get going until like level 60.
Mm,
And then you're just like, how do I get to level 60 without wanting to just uninstall the game?
yeah,
And I get that. So it depends on what class you pick. So you pick like a monk, you're gonna hate yourself. You're
yeah.
gonna pick up like a paladin, it's not too bad. You want
Mm,
to pick up like a dragoon, you might have a good time at the game, but you also might die a lot. So there's some facets that you just can't
uh-huh.
just blindly pick up the game without any kind of knowledge. But you can, but it'll be a hell of a learning curve.
Hey, Will, thanks for the raid, man. Did not expect that at all. Again,
Will,
again, that big streamer love now.
oh my Lanta. I put in the Discord that I'm over here, so we might
Okay.
get some peeps in here.
Only now? Man.
No, I did it a while ago.
Oh,
I just didn't tell you about
X said he has
it.
3 level 80s. His opinion is set.
I have 3. You only 3? That's cute. I remember my first 3 level 80s.
Wow.
But yeah. Okay. What's your eye level, by the way? Just asking for a friend. But yeah. Good times though. Definitely good times.
So I see you play a lot of. Wait, let's go back. You don't
Hmm.
play any games on stream that are PvP, do you?
No, I mean I do sometimes, but like I'll be playing with like a friend or something, or just dicking around. So like I'll play like Overwatch on stream, maybe in like a rare occasion, but like I don't really do a lot of PvP just because I just get so competitive to like a not healthy amount. So
What's
yeah,
what's the last PvP you played against people?
no, it was definitely Overwatch. Like I spent a lot of time in Overwatch because you can just do quick game or two here. So you can go longer if you need to, but not go too deep, and there's no stories. So then
Mm,
you can just kind of like pick and choose when you want to dip out
that's
of there. But it's a
interesting.
lot of fun.
Oh, you've already been here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, Despicable X says they want to see you rage. I want to see it too. I want to see the
She,
true Anthony breaking your
well,
keyboard.
listen, she loves chaos. That's all that is. So
Mm.
I don't know. And also, we see you, Megan.
You play games that are really hard. Is that something you always did growing up?
Start playing hard games until I started streaming.
Uh-huh.
Um, like I literally would shy away from that kind of stuff just because like I'd want to play the game and have fun, but at
Hmm.
the same time I'd want to see the story without wanting to pull my hair out. That's just
Yeah.
how I grew up. I was like, we'll just get there. And then all of a sudden I'm streaming and they're like, put it on the hardest difficulty, pansy. You won't. And then my competitiveness kicks in and I'm like, bet, we out here. And then I start suffering a lot
Yeah.
and don't realize that I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. So
Chad wants to know what are some hard games that you play?
We just finished doing Dark Souls. That was fun. We did Sekiro. That was fun. We just beat Jedi Fallen Order on the hardest difficulty. That was fun. And I need to finish Neo 2 because that was also a pretty good time.
Are you gonna do that on
So
hard?
I don't even think there is there. I don't even think you can put on a difficulty. I think the game has its natural
I feel that.
difficulty, but there are like levels I think in the game too. So
Mm,
like if you just like don't level yourself, life's gonna get pretty tough.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna just enjoy that game, kind of ride the wave.
Mm.
Do you play any hard games? Like I mean, granted, I would argue that your Home Alone game looked pretty terrible.
Oh
So
my goodness. Oh. I mean, mostly the retro games that's like I remember this being a little bit easier when I was growing up, but I don't play any games on
mhm.
hard. I want to enjoy the story a little bit.
Okay, I get that. I
Sekiro,
get that.
Sekiro is hard too.
Unpopular opinion, I thought it was not hard at all actually.
Mm,
And I didn't use any ninja tools. I didn't use any prosthetics. I just used my sword and a health every once in a
mm-mm.
while. And I didn't struggle at all in Sekiro. I was like, this game was overhyped, honestly.
Yeah,
But we all have our things we struggle with, so I guess yeah.
I can't, I can't, because I like to be aggressive in games. I like to wait
Same.
and then parry and then hit you back. I just want to slash through, like Godfall, like I just want to slash through, get through everybody and keep going.
Yeah, that's kind of how I did Sekiro though.
Hmm.
Like I would dodge and then I would just kamikaze attack, dodge, kamikaze attack, and then all of a sudden your guard will be broken, and then I'm like, all right, cool, we're done.
Okay, yeah, exactly. What's hand sim? I like hand sim and it's like a really stupid, but it's the only thing I have raged on. I don't know what hand sim is. Do you know?
Oh, there's like it's a hand simulator where literally you like control every finger
Oh.
and you have to like pick up things and then like move them around and
Stop
then like
talking,
hit
stop
targets.
talking. They're gonna want to see that. They're gonna want to see that. No, no,
It is
no.
pretty miserable to watch.
Oh
Or I
man.
like watching it, but like seeing them struggle, I feel their pain sometimes.
Oh my goodness. Mm-mm. So you don't play any games off stream, so I can't ask you questions like that.
Well, I just don't play any story games off stream, but I will play like, I'll play 14 off stream.
Mhm.
I'll play Overwatch off stream. But just things I can just get on and get off with no like, investment basically. So
Do you ever feel like I should be streaming this right now, or this should be something I could be streaming all the time?
oh
Yeah.
yeah. But it did get to a point, and this is what took me a little bit of time to realize, is because everybody's friend group thinks they're the funniest friend group in the world.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, yo, me and my homies, we can just stream this because we're hilarious. And then when you stream with you and the homies, you realize that you're only funny like once in a blue moon, but it's like an inside joke that nobody gets. And then when you
Exactly.
watch the pod, you're like, wow, we're kind of terrible. And yeah, that was a learning curve. So I had to figure that one out the hard way.
Jeez. Mm-mm. So what I do to balance life and streaming, as I stream everything.
Hmm.
So once I'm using the computer, I'm gonna stream it. Unless it's like watching a video on my days off. But if I want to work on my overlays, which I make myself, I want to work on emotes, which I make myself, I stream that. Like the whole
Oh, do you?
process. Yeah.
Oh, geez, I can't do that.
Why? I mean, basically, you're doing the same thing you normally do, which is create the overlays or create the emotes, but you're talking to chat at the same time. So you're no longer
That's the
alone.
issue. I
What do you
can't do
mean?
that.
You,
If I'm doing like overlays and I'm focused on like alerts and like things I'm trying to like put into my stream,
uh-huh.
like I get like I get dialed in. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I have like my focus mode on, I get massive resting bitch face like you would never believe. And they're like, is he angry? Should I talk to him? And then I'm like, no, I'm cool. What are you talking about? But I'm like so focused on what's happening now. I'm like, this overlay's gotta go here, place it here, font here, color here. And then
Oh,
like I'm
no,
so
no,
into
no.
it that like I can't do anything else. My multitasking ability is
Wow.
non-existent.
Wow.
So yeah, that's so.
Interesting.
But it's no, but it's interesting that you would do something like that. Like, have you noticed like people will be interested in that, or like are they mostly just interested in games? Like, what do you
It's
get from that?
50-50. I think the people that watch me just want to like talk to me, which is what I adore because it's less of a struggle to do what they want.
Right.
But my thing is, whenever they ask for something, I do my best to do it. Like they want to watch me play this game they played as a kid, I'll play it because I'm just here to chill with you, you know? And you actually
Hmm.
hear all the time, I'm gonna do what you want to do for the most part.
Right.
But then if I have an overlay I want to work on and I have to stream, I'll just stream that. And they're still here for that. People come in and they ask me if it could work for them. I'm like, it's not professional work. It's just me just doing stuff, but it looks good to them, so they're interested.
Right.
So my
Well,
community
I'm a
doesn't care.
huge advocate of like content being subjective, you know. Some
Hmm.
people are like, some people will be like, this is my entire life work, and they'll take years to do it, and then
Yeah.
they'll finally put it out, and then it flops.
Yep.
And then they're like, hey, I did this in like 10 minutes, and then it blows up, and they're like,
Hmm.
what? This is crazy. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably it's good stuff. So there you
Uh-oh.
go.
I wanted the name Curex. It was taken. I got petty, and this is my name now. Like that's literally what happened. Like I typed in Curex, enter, it's not available. I couldn't get the name I wanted, enter. Like that was it. And then
See, I
second,
was drawn to the spite. It fueled it. I was like, I love this guy.
oh my goodness, dude. And I didn't think that would be here either. I thought I was gonna be like a regular guy on Twitch, just chilling in the background. But
Hmm.
things changed, and now my name is. It has to be this forever now. Like I
I
can't
mean,
change it.
don't be afraid to switch it if you ever want to at some point. Like happiness has got to be number one at all times. But you know, I do understand that people are very impartial to switching something that's like working basically.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from.
Well, people are drawn to it, so I get rated. People coming in just because of my name, just because of that.
Hmm.
So I get people following me when I'm not even streaming because I'm in other people's chat talking to them. They're like, I'm gonna follow you because of your name, and then that's it. And I'm like,
There you go.
whatever, that's funny. Then they come back with a raid. I'm like, you said you were gonna follow me, not raid me. Like, chill.
Hell yeah.
So how do you handle raids and
Um.
like big raids?
So I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten pretty good with decent sized raids recently because a
Hmm.
lot of my friends are like they're much bigger than I am.
Hmm.
And the thing like when I got my first like big raid, it was from
Hmm.
again my friend Luality. I love her to death. But she she raided me and like I already got kind of nervous whenever somebody would raid me with like, you know, like 5 people here, 10
Yeah,
people
yeah,
here. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh god, like people that like just got dumped into my channel and they're like, where are we? Who is this guy? And I'm like, oh god, who am I? What do I do? And I would get kind of nervous about that. So then when I got that big raid for the first time, man, oh god, I was playing Borderlands. I was
Uh-huh.
playing Borderlands with my friends,
Uh-huh.
and I was um I was trying to play the game as I got raided, and my hand was shaking
Oh wow.
so bad that like I was hoping that no one could notice that my screen wasn't like going back and forth from shaking,
Yeah.
and because I had like 100 plus people in there, and again I was streaming to like 3 people,
Wow.
so all of a
Yeah,
sudden
yeah.
I get 100 plus out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh hi, Lua, you're great, and it was bad, and then my camera wasn't great because it was an Xbox Connect,
Yeah.
so the issue with that was my video and audio were constantly desynced. So like it was like a bad Chinese movie. So I would be like,
Oh man.
hello, how are you? And I'm like, shit. So that would make me super self-conscious. And
Yeah.
as I was also doing all of that shit, I would start sweating profusely. I
Uh.
completely sweat through the back of my shirt, but you couldn't see behind me. But when I ended my stream, I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. And
Oh man.
eventually I got a little bit better with it and being more comfortable like in front of the camera and being comfortable in front of people. But
Mhm.
like it took me a while to get to that point, honestly.
I guess you didn't tell this story to everybody. They just found out about your connect.
Wait, say it again. I spaced out.
They didn't hear about your connect before. It's the first time they're hearing about it. Is it?
Oh yeah, so I don't think because Will he's newer-ish to the community. Like out of my
Okay.
3 years, I saw him like what 6 months ago or so.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was back in the AWOC 44 days. So I just started streaming with that,
Yeah, yeah.
and I had like my 2011 MacBook Pro when I first started using any kind of like computer to get overlays,
Mhm.
and it got so bad that I couldn't run OBS and my camera at the same time because it
Oof.
just the computer was dying.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went through some phases. We went through some real quick. Yeah, feels pretty bad. I say, yo, baby, that's right.
So what kind of setup do you have now?
Right now I have a setup that I cannot complain about. I got
Mm.
and I'm not a huge computer guy.
I
Okay,
know.
so I'm gonna put that out there.
Mhm.
But right now I got a really decent graphics card going on right now, and I've got 2 monitors that are very, very pretty. I just recently paid like 260 for this monitor that I'm using right now.
Chump change.
Just Lamau. But like I didn't want to buy it. My friend had to talk me into it.
Mhm.
Actually, when I bought this, I bought the graphics card and the new processor. It was like $600 something. I literally, and that was just a few months ago.
Yeah.
I was so nervous to spend that kind of money on like an investment for my own stream that I literally sent him the link to the thing that I was gonna buy, and
Yeah.
I sent my friend the money, and I said, "You buy it."
Oh wow.
That was just a few months ago. I was like, I can't spend that much money in good conscience.
Oh
And he
man.
did it for me, and it all worked out. But
Yeah.
my God, my actual God. So, and the greatest part about all of that is
Mhm.
I was able to do any of that
Yeah.
through like my community.
Mhm.
That was super, super nice. And I haven't really told, I think I mentioned it like briefly, but my
Mhm.
car broke down
Mhm.
several months ago. And the community, like I hadn't mentioned my car at all to them,
Yeah.
but like just them being just super, super nice and generous, I got to actually fix my car from like
Nice.
just Twitch money. And it
Nice.
was the greatest feeling in the world. And I was just like, I can't believe like people like care about me like that, It
Yeah.
was such a humbling thing.
I mean that's the part of Twitch that makes you feel like it's not just toxic or it's not just bad people here. It's actually good people here. And I'm lucky to only see the good so far, like 1 or 2 bad apples, but mostly for the most part, super supportive. They're always here. Even if they stop by a little bit, they're always here checking on you, making sure you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Be ready though. It's gonna happen. You'll start
We'll
growing
see.
and
I have some super thick skin, so we'll see what happens.
see the thing too is what gets me sometimes too, because I got pretty relatively thick skin too, and I love playing off of people. So when they come in trolling or
Hmm.
being super toxic, like we are both dark skinned individuals. I'll have
Yeah,
some
yeah,
people
yeah,
coming in
yeah.
dropping N bombs and stuff like that, or just like I had this one guy come in. I was doing like a random just chatting stream, just dicking around with the community for a while,
Hmm.
and someone comes into my chat. I'm looking at my chat or whatever, and all of a sudden this message pops up and goes, "Hey, I will pay you to have sex with my mom. She loved banging black guys." And
Wow.
I'm like, oh word, how much you charging? And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just dicking around with the guy,
Oh
Like
man.
at first I was like, who says that? And then
Hey, thank
I'm
you.
just like, what the hell?
Hmm.
And so it gets to the point now where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna troll back or whatever. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, cool. Well, that means that you've got to be at least mixed, right? So you gotta be one of like the black homies. So like, I see what you're doing. You're trying to get like another black brother in your life. And he goes, how do you know I'm black? I'm like, because your mom likes banging black guys and
Yeah.
she ain't no quitter. And then he was just kind of like, that's rude. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm on
Wait,
your
what?
team. And then he left. And I'm like, oh, what happened? You couldn't hang? So
Oh
yeah,
my
you can't be
goodness.
controlled. But on the flip side though, because like I got thick skin, like I'm
Hmm.
whatever. I can,
Yeah.
I like laughing with everybody. But what I worry about is the fact that it like makes the community uncomfortable, you know?
Yes, yes.
And then if it makes that uncomfortable, then I get a little upset about it. And I'm like, shit, like you came to this party of ours and
Mm-hmm.
you just tried to destroy it and wreck it, by doing whatever
Yeah,
just to get some
exactly.
attention or whatever.
Yeah.
And that took me a while to get used to. And I wasn't really okay with banning people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I would try to like talk them down or like try to be friends with them. It's like, hey, let's be cool.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you really can't be friends with someone like that because their only real main objective is to just, you know, be extra and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like a walking time bomb.
Mm,
And once you just gotta purge some people sometimes,
definitely.
and once you get okay with that, then it gets a lot easier down the road.
So you just remind me of something. Your audio is kind of like warbling a little bit,
Hmm.
but it reminded me that you said that you broke your mic stand.
I did break my mic, but also sometimes Discord literally just like
Acts up.
it gets my audio like all jacked up sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you break it?
Um, I I broke my mic because I was playing a gotcha game and I got the character that I wanted, and I
Wait,
was so
it was a
excited that
happy break?
it was a happy break, which then turned into a depressive break because I can't believe I lost my shit like that.
Oh
And
man.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just took this freaking mic and just started like, oh my god, and then like I like took it off. Yeah, it was bad. Like none of that. Just if I had any kind of self control, I wouldn't have went that way.
I
Yeah,
think that's Genshin, right?
yeah, that was
Yeah,
Genshin Impact. Yeah,
definitely Genshin.
yeah. There's a clip of this. Yeah, there's a clip. Jesus.
Wow, like I know how exactly how that feels because in SAO MD, getting a
Mhm.
character is like finding a four-leaf clover,
Mhm.
and you need these characters to do the banners, to do the ranking events. So like if you get one, it's like ecstatic, and when you don't, it's like okay, Liz, I'm just gonna go.
Okay, Liz. I felt that.
It was Liz and Argo. Argo is the one for
Oh
the
god.
characters, so I don't like Argo either.
No, I feel that. That's fine. I'm okay with
Yeah,
that. Just an info broker.
crazy. Um,
Oh god.
Tell me a game you're looking forward to in the future, near future, far future, it doesn't matter.
So I had mentioned Neo 2, and they're again by it coming to PC, like it's going to have better frame rates and stuff like that
Mm,
alone. So it's gonna be super pretty. I can't wait to play it on PC and actually like finish it.
mm-hmm,
I want to play um this video game series that everyone talks so highly about, and it's called Mass Effect. I'm sure everyone's heard about it at this point, but
mm-hmm,
like I've never played it before, and everyone's like, oh my god, Mass Effect's so great. But I heard they're doing like some remake or whatever, or some like
mm-hmm.
HD edition or some shit, whatever's coming out. I don't know what it is,
Yeah,
but they're like, oh, they're just gonna redo it or whatever, so just play the new one. And I'm like, oh, word. So I'm probably just gonna wait until
definitely.
that's done. And those are like the two things that like I'm really thinking about right now,
Mm-hmm.
but that's about it, I think.
You're gonna have to whisper the clip. I don't allow links in here. I'm sorry.
Get wrecked, nerds.
Is there any, have there been a game that you're just absolutely bad at?
Other than like all of them. Okay. Well then, I just gotta pick one. I Jesus, I don't know. It's like it's very hit or miss
Mm-hmm,
because like I feel like if I focus on a game hard enough and I'm not diverting it between a bunch of different things,
mm-hmm.
I'm like relatively okay. I would not say that
Gotcha.
I'm a bad gamer, like
Mm-hmm,
for real though. But like when I'm streaming, I'm dicking around, I'm having a good time, and then I like lose my train of thought, which happens all the freaking time.
mm-hmm.
And then like I'm trying to read chat, but then I still mess up the game. But like I'm not even reading chat correctly, so I don't even know what I'm doing exactly. And so yeah, I would say that a game that I'm just not good at though, platformers. They can go to hell. Oh yeah.
I hear that.
God.
I like platformers though. That's what I
God.
grew up on.
They're not bad, but I'm just bad.
Mm.
And it's stressful. And then they kind of get boring though after a while. It gets kind of repetitive. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But no, I don't know. Something about platforming just doesn't work for me.
For me, it's the pixels sometimes. Like, of course, we know you landed here, but like you have to be exactly on the pixel to land, but you missed it by
Yeah.
one, so it's like, bye, there you go.
Nope,
And
can't do
that's
it.
like,
You just start raging. And you're like, oh,
oh
mother. Yeah.
my goodness. So, what's the future like for you and Twitch? and streaming?
Honestly, I don't have any massive goals for Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably like maybe a little bit surprising because I feel like everyone has goals on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really have any goals for Twitch because like my only goal is just to do as good as I possibly can do, and I genuinely mean that shit. So
Yeah.
like, I'm an advocate. People should have goals. I get that. I love it. I respect it. And there's better ways to go about it than others. But
Yeah.
how I'm handling this right now and how I'm handling like all of these facets of my life is that I'm not looking for a goal because this is something that I kind of want to do for as long as I possibly can until I just can't do it anymore.
Mm.
And because of that, I don't want to be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna be the next Pokimane or I'm gonna be the next Tim the Tatman or these other
Yeah.
like massive household names.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm gonna do the best I can, and I'm just gonna do it every single day until I die. So
Okay.
like, and I want to just learn from it and grow from it. And if the analytics go up, dope. If they don't, let's just work on it. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not looking for a number. I'm not looking for like any kind of like specific goal.
So you
I'm
don't want
just
to
like,
you don't want to be partner or anything like that? Like that's not in your.
I mean, partner would be cool. I'm like, but it's not my goal. My goal
Mm.
isn't to be like, all right, I got partner, now what? My goal is like to keep going and make it as big as I possibly can, and that is bigger than partner in my opinion.
Okay.
So like, yeah, be having the benefits of partner would be super nice. The check mark, the new 80-20 split on subs and some of
Mhm.
the different sponsorships that come with it, dope. But
Yeah.
like there are partners out there who also like aren't really doing anything. There are partners out
Yeah.
there who are averaging like less view counts than people who are just streaming for the first time.
Mhm.
Like being partner doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot other than you hit a certain metric.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to just do more than that basically. So when I get it, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool. But like my friend recently I had a couple friends recently just hit their first 1,000 followers on Twitch.
Yeah.
Dope. But I personally, it's just I don't want to sound like I'm a negative Nancy. I promise you, I'm a very
No, it's okay.
optimistic person.
Just being real.
I'm being 100% real and transparent. I think it's just a vanity metric. It's just saying this, and don't get me wrong, over 1,000 people hit the "I mess with you" button. That's
Yeah.
dope. Okay, I can look at it like that, like that's awesome.
Mhm.
But to be like, oh my god, right now I have like what 1.5 thousand people that are following me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean shit because I
Yeah.
have like 25 to 30 like homies that come and see me. I don't have 1.5 thousand people hanging
Yeah.
out with
Yeah.
me,
Yep.
and I think about that. So
Mhm.
they're like, we're gonna do a 1,000 follower celebration, and I'm like, for what? 1,000 people watching your stream, and that's just like, so when I hit
Oh
that
man.
metric, I was like, it don't mean shit. We're gonna get
Mhm.
2,000, 3,000, and just keep kind of going,
Yeah.
So that's just kind
Okay.
of how I'm looking at it.
That's good. So do you have a viewership goal or like a number that you would like to see viewer wise, or you just don't
Mm.
care?
I will keep it 100 with you though, because right now I don't care. But when
Okay.
I first started, my first goal ever was to reach double digits. So, like I said before, if I ever hit 10 viewers, I was like, "Woo, baby, let's go!" Like that was me, 100%. And now I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. We got the homies. I just want to do the best I can now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's no metric I'm trying to hit now.
I hit 1K, but I don't know if it was an accident or not. I think I got followed about it, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it's okay.
I don't know.
You can get another 1K and be like, that was
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
100%. There you go.
Yeah, but it's been good over here, man. It's been really good. I was surprised that
That's
you
dope.
followed me.
Why is that?
You're a big streamer.
I'm not a big streamer. Stop saying that.
For me, like, there are streamers bigger than you that bring in like 5 viewers, 3 viewers, and you're on almost every day with like 30, 40 viewers. So like to me, that's big. To me.
I mean, no, that's fair. That's 100% fair. I can get that.
Yeah,
I can
I
definitely.
just
I'm
started getting
looking at
like
everybody else, I'm
10,
just like,
you know?
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's perspective. 100% perspective.
Yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
like, I mean, as far as even just the partner metric, I'm like, I'm not even,
You-
averaging like 75 minimum
Yeah,
to get like,
exactly.
and but yeah, no, I get it. I definitely get it. But I saw you, and you were just, and people who come into the stream a decent amount.
Yeah.
And the people who actually like talk and interact with everybody, and not even just me. I love when everyone comes to like hang out with me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when I see them actually trying to talk to other people and be a part of the community, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh shit, who is that guy?
Yeah.
They're here all the time. They're super cool. I'll click on their thing or whatever,
Mhm.
and then like I'll go check them out. And I'm like, oh shit, he wanted a homies. I had no idea you streamed. And
Yeah.
then I'll hit you with a follow, check you out, see what you about, and just lurk.
So you would advocate for people, I guess, networking, like just going out
Mhm.
there and talking to people, and then
Oh yeah,
eventually they'll
absolutely.
come to you, right?
Basically. I made a lot of streamer friends by like networking, quote
Mm,
unquote,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's like organic networking though,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
like you can go in any stream and just start talking to people, but like the people that I talk to now, I really mess with,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like yes, they stream, and a lot of them are bigger than I am right now,
Mm-hmm.
but like at their core, we're both just two people just having a good time, just getting to know each other basically,
Yeah.
and that's the best way to like do it basically. So
We've had a
yeah.
talk on the last podcast about rating and viewers and things like that, and the
Hmm.
argument was that raids don't work because you're gonna eventually lose viewers to the people that you rated. But that's not necessarily the case. The case is you're gonna start a community thing. In my opinion,
So
you're gonna
you're
start a
saying,
community.
are you saying you rate somebody else and that doesn't work, or are you saying when people rate you?
Someone was saying that neither works in any fashion
No, they work. They
because
100% work.
they quote big streamers that said they don't raid smaller streamers because of whatever. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, but it does.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen channels pop off because of like one raid, and
Yeah.
like it's definitely possible.
Hmm.
But don't I would definitely say though the majority, like hear me out though, because where they're coming from is not 100% wrong. Like I get it.
Hmm.
And I was in that mindset for a long time too. I think raids do help. They're not gonna completely blow your channel up every single one. They're
Hmm.
not gonna completely like take you somewhere you've never been before, but they definitely do help. And on the face of it, okay, on the absolute face of it, let's just say somebody raids you, but out of the raid you get, nobody follows you.
Hmm.
Nobody even really hangs out any more than like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, well, what's the point? This is what the point is. If you're in a directory
Hmm.
and you're like in the middle, okay, or you're even in the bottom,
Yeah.
and then somebody hits you with a raid, you get a few, like even just a few small ones or one big one.
Yeah.
At the very least, it'll boost you in the directory, and then it makes you more clickable. So
Yeah.
like people who came in for the raid don't stick around, but people who are new to the, or checking out the
They'd be like,
directory
"Oh, look,
will
somebody's
find
right
you.
there." Yep.
Exactly. So instead of
Hmm.
like scrolling through to find you, you're already right there. So
Yeah.
like it can help you become more discoverable with the raid. So on the face, that's worth the investment right
Oh,
there
hell yeah.
alone. So
Definitely. Definitely. And I'm a very big advocate of starting a community. I like this guy even though he likes Final Fantasy 14.
I'm glad, I think.
Because what I do is that even though I work full time, on my breaks I'm on Twitch, just talking to
There you go.
people, meeting people, interacting with people, and then they come back later. I don't really want that from what I'm doing. I'm just interacting with people that look like me most of all, or people that are
Mhm.
doing what I'm doing. It's like I just want to hang out and chill on my work, but they come back to check me out. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you checked me out. I was just
Right.
here, And
Hell
that
yeah,
in
it's a great thing to
itself,
do.
even though it's putting yourself out there, it's still organic because you were just talking, talking about
Mhm.
the game. You're the only person chatting in a room of like 25, and that's weird to me sometimes.
No, I get that. I
I,
definitely do.
I don't understand how that happens. Do you know? Do you know?
Yeah, so it happens to me still. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on what thing I'm doing or what game I'm playing. If, in my opinion, when it happens the most often is when enough people are in a game directory that they either know nothing about
Yeah.
or is very, very, very story heavy to the point where everyone's just invested in what's happening. So no one's really talking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what the game is, how can you really add to the game,
Mm-hmm.
And then for a lot of other people, instead of just being like, talking about the game, you could be like, do you like hot dogs or do you like pineapple pizza? But it's so off the wall that no one wants
Yeah.
to put that in the chat, even though it could be a conversation topic. So
Mhm.
everyone kind of just like keeps to themselves, but they still want to hang out with you though.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
lurking, they're watching you, they got you on a second monitor or on a TV in the background somewhere, and they're all supporting you.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot of reasons why they could pop off. But a lot of people kind of get weird about like people getting called out for that, being like, you've got X amount of viewers and the chat's dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, sorry, I can't force everyone to talk in the chat. We just vibing, guy, and you
Yeah.
harshin the mellow, fam. So yeah, that's kind of how that happens, at least in my experience anyway.
I just
It
like
could
to
be
talk
you
to
bot or
people, so
something.
I just talk, and like something happens in the game, I'm gonna talk about it. Like you getting attacked by the dogs, so like I'm gonna talk about that because it's funny to me. Like it's just funny stuff. Or
Yeah,
talking
I
about
mean,
who's the best waifu. Even though I don't have any opinions, I know I like Alice, so I just jumped in and said Alice, and you were like, nah, she's number 3. I'm like, no, she's number 1, and that got us
oh
talking back
Jesus,
and forth, So like
the
that's what I do.
never-ending waifu battle.
Yeah, I know. Oh man. So,
No, I definitely get that.
your other plans for social media, like what do you have going on outside of Twitch?
So I have my I try to post at least once a day on Twitter,
Hmm.
and then I try to get in conversations, and whether they're streamers or not streamers, I just get on random conversations to, get my name out there, just
Hmm.
talk to people and get their perspective on things. I'm on Instagram too, which I try to post more on there, but since I'm at my apartment all the time, there's not a lot of pictures I can post. So I've been trying to put up a lot of like gaming clips, and I've been
Hmm.
getting into editing more and more, which is kind of nice. And I've been trying to like really like, so what a lot of people do when they put up their clips is they'll have a Twitch clip,
Yeah,
and then they'll just download the clip, and then they'll just upload it on social media.
yeah.
Bam bam. So what I've learned and what I've seen is that people get a lot more interaction when the clip has edits, when the clip is more watchable and not just like as low effort as humanly possible. Don't
Mm.
get me wrong, those clips can pop off if they're just like naturally, organically like entertaining,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
just think how much more great it would be with decent editing behind it.
Hmm.
So what I've been doing is I'll take my like 30-second clip or 10-second clip, and then like I'll add font, because when you're scrolling through, people usually have the audio off, whatever, while they're on social media. So
Yeah.
like if you see like a bunch of font happening here and you're like, oh, it's kind of funny, tap on it, go back to the beginning, listen to it, engage with it, and then
Hmm.
go from there. I'm
Mm.
like, okay, I noticed that, and that's how like the organic reach can go that way.
Yeah,
But by also making it funny with sound effects, with other different like zooming edits, and just
yeah.
like like music under the entire like track or whatever, and
Hmm.
just turn that into something that it wouldn't have been originally,
Yeah.
that usually gets more clicks, and then that usually gets you more people to be like, who is that guy?
Gotcha.
And it takes like a few extra minutes to like really get it going, depending on how long the clip is, but I think it's 100% worth it. And I'll put those on Instagram, and I mix that up with like just putting up like a picture of me. I put my fam up there the other day from like Christmas. I
Hmm.
kind of dropped the ball these last few days because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. But now I'm trying to do YouTube, because I put off YouTube for literally so long, and I put up a bunch of videos of like gaming on YouTube,
Hmm.
and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, and it just kind of like got just lost in the shuffle of YouTube. And it was hard, because not only was it getting lost in the shuffle, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I took all the videos off and said, screw it, dead YouTube.
Oh,
And
wow.
now I'm basically just doing advice stuff on YouTube that I was
Hmm.
just doing on the podcast, but
Yeah.
just doing it in video format. I'm like,
Okay, cool.
I like that more.
So has streaming taught you anything new that you didn't know before? That
Oh
you
God,
had
yeah,
to learn for streaming? Hey, Bobby.
man. It streaming for sure, like it makes you think on your feet a lot faster, because things are happening constantly,
Hmm.
and it like helps you on some level have multiple different conversations at the same time that
Hmm.
like take time to like, gosh, like once like the chat will start like popping off or whatever.
Yeah.
Like at first I couldn't handle it. I was just like, there's no slow down. And
Yeah.
then now I'm like, okay, like you just kind of get better at it over time,
Hmm.
and then like you can carry over like that multitasking ability, or that like wit that you kind of get over time, into like everyday conversation. And now
Definitely.
I'm like a small talk god at the grocery store. So no, it just
Yeah.
little wins.
Yeah, definitely. I think, oh, who is Anthony? This is Supermanthony. He is a big streamer who doesn't like to admit it.
Oh my god.
He plays a lot of Sword Art, Final Fantasy 14,
Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact. He's a really cool guy. We met about 4 months ago. I don't
Give
remember.
or take.
Yeah, and we've been friends. I don't know. We've been cool
Nah,
ever
we cool. No,
since.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
good. We
cool.
good. We're right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I invited him to talk, and he said yes. So here we are. What kind of
Still
headphones do
getting
you
over a
have?
cold. Hmm?
What kind of headphones do you have?
These are HyperX headphones. They're
Oh,
like,
stop
okay, let's go,
playing. No.
gang shit. Okay, we're right there.
Okay, okay. Yeah, he's cool for sure now.
I
If
mean,
you,
he's all right. I mean, I'm all right.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So you remember that day? I think I sent him the clip too when he had the rabbit ears. Yeah, that's him, Mr. Rabbit
Yep, I was
Ears.
a rabbit ear guy. Jesus Christ. All right.
So any other plans for life outside of streaming?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Get your
Um,
degree.
so I'm gonna finish school in like a year.
Hmm.
which is dope. And then I got to figure out whether I'm going to do my master's or not. I need to if I want to be a therapist, counselor.
Yeah.
But the issue is I am so passionate about content creation that it is starting to blur the lines of what I want to do with my life. Scarily blur the lines. And I don't know. And I'm so invested in content creation that like I can't picture a lot of other stuff kind of going on outside of that.
I
So
feel that.
like I don't know. My friendships and my family, I've taken like within reason, I saw them for the holidays. We're gonna be cool. I text them once in a while, but for the most part, I don't talk to a lot of people, that aren't directly on Discord, that aren't directly on
In the
stream, because I'm so in that life that like that is just always on my mind. So everything else takes a step back. And they get it. Like they know that I've been working on this for like 3 years. They get where I'm coming from. And because they understand it now, they didn't at first, but now they understand it now. They're like, okay, you do your shit. I'll talk to you when we get back around to it, which has been super, super nice. Not everything has been that nice, but the ones that are the actual ride or dies have been that nice. And because of that, I genuinely don't know where like my future lies with a bunch of different stuff. And I think I need to get to a decent spot where like everything kind of like stables out a little bit. But I can't even picture it stabling out because like I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, I did something, let's just do it again and better. So like
it's
it's a never ending
exactly
battle.
like me. Well, my house,
battle.
my house, the friends. I don't have friends here because I moved from somewhere else. So streaming was like a door opening for me. So in the beginning, my wife didn't like it because it was taken away from us time, and it was a lot of money to invest, in the beginning. But she's seeing now that when I'm here and I'm doing this, it's like this is the old me coming back here. Like I have friends to talk to. I can be hype. I can be interactive, and she likes it now. She comes into chat. We play games together. Like it's becoming a thing in the house that.
Oh, I see her walking around in your stream like,
the
oh, you want
A1
something to eat? I
support.
got you. I'm like, goals.
But yeah, it's like I could feel how it'd be hard to like have an outside life and then like come into like an inside life where you have new friends and you have new people to talk to every day. And it's like, how do you balance that? And like, where's my life gonna be? I don't know what my life's gonna be, but I enjoy doing this a lot. And we got a baby on the way, so now it's like you gotta balance time even more now.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. So it's like we try and talk about like she's like, I don't want you to stop streaming. I'm like, thank you, but if I have to, I'll do less streaming and do more family time.
Right, and family definitely should come first. 100%.
Definitely.
So
well, this kind of family, not like outside family. They'll be fine, but like
they good. I'm working on my own right now.
Home family is definitely where it's at, and
100%,
stream
man.
family. Yeah. Well, I hope you get your degrees.
Oh yeah, me too. Shoot.
My master's degree took me like 6 years to get.
Hey, but you got it though,
I wish it was the normal 2 years, but whatever.
Hey, listen, man. I really do look at life as a marathon, not a sprint. But it gets super, super hard because those around you that you've grown up with, they get something quicker than you, and then you're just like, damn, I should have got that, or I should have got that. So it's hard to like not compare.
Yeah.
But then like I take things and like I'm just such an optimist that I have a really good ability to take something and then spin it into a way where like I'm just less stressed about it because I'm like, it is what it is. I'm good. We'll get there. And like a lot of the mental gymnastics that I do, like the tangible stuff, is that like people that are my age are having kids. People are my age that are having like their job from after their degree and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, my school's not done yet. I don't have any kids. I'm not even dating anybody. Like, I'm like, man, I'm behind, and I'm just playing video games with a webcam. Like, that's my life right now. And honestly, I'm in love with it. Okay. And then I think to myself, like, okay, cool. Well, they got that job now. They got the family. They got the kids. And it's like, well, then what's next for them? Nothing. They're just gonna like, just kind of go through the routine of like, all that different stuff for for a lot of them. You gotta admit, a lot of people in that situation, they get their degree, they get their family, they get their house, and then just kind of like, they just go to work, they come back, they wait till the kid goes off to college, and then like, but some people though, okay, not everybody, they have like the different aspirations and the different goals and stuff like that, and they branch out to different things. That's dope.
Gotcha.
But it's like everybody else, for the most part, not everybody, but
Mm.
like they do these societal norms because they feel like they have to
Yes,
hit
yes,
certain
yes.
threshold, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a race to that finish line. So
Yeah.
I'm like, good job, you got there, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not in the same race as you.
Yeah.
And that kind of like, when I look at it that way, that I have my own race that's separate from everyone else's, and I'll eventually reach my own,
Yeah.
destination,
Yeah.
that like helps me sleep at night.
Has it always been you to like take off the pressure of society from living you?
You said how? Or
No, has that always been your thing to be like, I'm gonna just do me, regardless of what you think I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna do me?
oh God, no. 100%. That would
Oh.
keep you up at night sometimes. I was terrible with that. Um, but not until about my mid 20s,
Mm-hmm.
I started taking a hard look at like what I was doing
Mm-hmm.
and where I was going. And then I started doing like life math, like, okay, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get your job, you're gonna get this, you're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
that, and then that'll ultimately get you here. And everyone's reaching for that like quote unquote happiness of that white picket fence. And then I'm just like, but like then what?
Mm-hmm.
Like society doesn't tell you what after that other than just like retirement. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a lot of like, everyone's getting their degrees in their family by like 25, and then just what? You're just gonna keep doing the same shit until you're like 70? That didn't
Yeah.
sound great. I'm like, I'm not in a rush to do that.
Yeah.
So then like that snapped in my head, and I was like, all right, you know what? I think I'm okay. I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, and then kind of got a lot better.
What was your first job?
My very first job, I was a bus boy at Outback Steakhouse.
Nice.
Um, I was 16. My mom got me the job. Thought I failed the math portion of it, but I'm like, I'm busting tables. What do I gotta do the math for, And I got the job. It was cool. And like every other kid, you got your first couple paychecks, and then what do you do with it? You buy pizza and video games for the
Hell
homies.
yeah.
You don't save shit. What are you talking about? But yeah, that was one of my first jobs. Well, that was my first like legal job. I had a bunch of like under the table
Well,
jobs at like
definitely. Yeah.
festivals and cleaning up stuff like that. But my first like legit job was working at a steakhouse. What about you?
I was washing dishes for a pit house, like a barbecue pit. My cousin
Okay.
owned it, so I would do dishes, I would do all the pans and stuff like that. That was out of high school. I had no
Oh
life out of
yeah.
high school. It was school, work, homework, chores, and that's it.
I
Even
mean, you're
then,
on your grind.
I wasn't doing video games. I didn't keep the money though. I gave it to my mom for house stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, you're already more ahead than I was. I was like video games and pizza, baby.
Well, they did allow
God.
me to buy a PS3 when they first came out.
Oh, there you go.
And we all sat and watched me play. Like my mom, my dad, my brother. So we all sat down and watched me play the game for the whole day.
I'll see you're already a streamer. Look at you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like if I had known about streaming growing up, or I knew like it was something to do in college, I'd have been here a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is
That's fair.
this is something that I really enjoy doing, and it's something that I've been doing all my life, which was playing a game in front of a crowd. Like when you're the best gamer in the house, they have to watch you. So it's like, so I've been
You want
doing.
to play progression, fam? Oh gosh, what?
But it was so cool that my mom and my aunts would be invested into the game. They would know the characters and everything like that. Like they always pushed us to do what we wanted to do anyways. So I knew I would have the support. I just didn't know it existed until like last 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my biggest regrets, not knowing about this earlier.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. Regret it. Like I told you, I immediately
Yeah.
swapped that in my head to like regret. I don't know, because if you
Okay,
wouldn't have
not a
gone
regret, but
through,
like
then
I
you may not have
wish.
been here at all. And then like you had also amazing experiences that led you to this moment, and
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
life experiences to offer other people during stream. So there should be no regret, sir.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. That's so true. Like most of the friends I have now, I wouldn't give them up for the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was streaming, I wouldn't be out with them. I'd be talking to chat. But
Or
that would
if you would
also
have started sooner, maybe you would have never met him.
probably. But
No
I
regret.
would still meet other people though. So like that's okay, I guess.
Wow, you said y'all replaceable, guys.
Everybody is
Anyway,
technically.
I'm messing with you.
So you don't have any, well, I can't call them regrets, but any things that you wish you did differently?
Oh yeah. There are a lot of things that I like looking back, and after you learn something, it's hard
Mhm.
to just not be like, "Pff, welp, I'm so happy I messed that up. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But when you do learn something, it's really easy to be like, I should have did this, or I could have did this. Because like again, I told you my first like 2 years of streaming, I did not take it 100% as serious as I possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I took this past year 100% serious, I was like, wow. if I would have did this, but for 3 years straight, God, I
Yeah.
probably would be somewhere completely different.
Hmm.
But because I didn't though,
Yes.
because I didn't, and I did stream to those 3 people for that first, entire year, and then those 7 for the entire second year. Like those single digit people became like I knew about their lives, I knew
Yeah.
about their like girlfriends, boyfriends, I
Hmm.
knew about like what their family was going through, like graduation, like I got this, like it was crazy.
Wow.
And it was just like that intimate of a group
Hmm.
that if I would have maybe grinded as hard as I did in the year one, I wouldn't have got that from them, you know?
I
And
understand that.
you just can't replace that.
Yeah,
You
you
really
can.
can't.
Yeah, I kind of have that now, actually, to be honest.
It's a good feeling. It's
But
great.
I think I'm getting up there fast though. But I'm
Oh, I
doing
mean,
all the
compared to
things
what I
that,
did on my first year,
yeah,
so there's that.
like like I told you, I did all the research. I know everything I'm supposed to
Mhm.
do. So I'm doing that, but I was doing that, which is like networking, talking to people, having cool overlays, having sounds, stuff like that. Just always working on the next idea. That's me.
No, I definitely I was when I first started like Twitch, like I just like before even streaming, I was
Yeah.
afraid to talk in chat rooms. Yeah, I would just like, I'm just gonna watch everybody, and I'll put something in there, and then
Uh,
when my favorite streamer would like read my comment, I was like, oh my god, they did the thing, 100%.
Drop
I
your
just couldn't
phone.
wrap my head around it. Yeah, and now I'm looking back like I was such a nerd. Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
goodness. So who do you follow now? Like big people that you follow? The normal?
So again, a lot of my friends, they're a lot bigger than I am with
Yeah.
double, triple your account, but like I talk to them all the time. But like actual like mainstream big people who have like thousands of freaking people. I follow a lot of Pokimane.
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of Valkyrie.
Yes.
And I watch Saikuno. And sometimes I'll dabble with some Tim the Tat Man because he's just a funny, chill dude.
Mm-hmm.
They got like tens of thousands. I watch Soda Poppin. Like he is a massive degenerate, and it's a point. Listen, I would not recommend him to anyone. It's
Uh-huh.
that bad. But he is a guilty pleasure of mine because he is
Mm,
hilarious in the worst kind of ways.
gotcha.
And those guys can just turn on an accidental stream and then hit like 30K on accident. So I watch a lot of those guys, and then I see like what they do,
Mm-hmm.
and I see like how their alerts go down, how they interact with chat, what their
Yep.
mods do, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, they're on a much like higher scale,
Yeah.
but like I can learn from them,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, those are some of the people that I kind of follow that are
That's
like
what I've
pretty
been
big.
doing too. Just studying everybody and just taking it on, taking the best parts and making the worst parts better, and then here we are.
Make it your own, so
Mm-hmm.
you're not like a cardboard copy of one of
Yeah,
these bigger
exactly.
streamers.
Definitely. I could never do that. I can't pretend to be something that I'm not. I've tried and like it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because it comes out in the end anyway. Over
Mm-hmm.
the course of time, you could probably keep it up for like a year, maybe year two, but then you get
Yeah.
all burnt out quicker and quicker. And then
Mm-hmm.
one day you just snap, and then they're like, wow, you're being a little different. And you're like, this is who I've always been. And then they're like, wow, I don't support this. And then,
Yep.
fake streamer, you're not who you said you were. You're a phony. And then it just
Yeah.
falls apart. So
Mm-hmm.
just that's why I try to do what I do. Just be 100% transparent. Just
Yeah.
lay it all out there. And then you have nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good feeling.
Speaking of that, like you don't have this issue of playing with people all the time like we do. Like we, as in my friends and I, we actually play with people in like competitive games in teams. So when you say that you're a streamer, they immediately start dogging on you because you're a streamer, and it's like a bad thing to be a streamer in their eyes. And we try to figure out why that is. Like there's such a negative stigma on streamers.
So this is all my opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things. It's like when people say streamer
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of different like chat rooms or like voice chats for whatever, it
Yeah.
has like certain connotations in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever someone's like, oh, this person's a streamer, so that means they're displaying their skill to other people because they think that they're pretty decent at the game. And
Mm.
let's just say that you're really not doing it for that reason. You're just
Yeah.
trying to have a good time, and like maybe you might be like -3 or 4 on the kill to death ratio, but
Yeah.
you're having a good time. And they
Mm-hmm.
go, oh wow, this streamer who's
Mm-hmm.
trying to display his skill in this PvP game is trash. trash. I wouldn't
Yeah.
watch that guy. Good job, streamer. Also, by trashing said streamer, they're trying to make themselves look
Look
better. So
good.
even if they do or do not stream, they go, yo, look at my gamer tag. I'm better than this streamer, because like their self-esteem isn't necessarily high enough for them to be like, you know what, do your thing. It's fine. You're doing your best. They'll have to be the one-uppers in the group or whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of that kind of comes into it too. And then not even just the displaying of skill, but sometimes when streamer gets thrown around, it has like a, I'm an influencer, or I'm trying to do something as far as like, you know, business wise or whatever. And they're just like, who do you think you are, streamer? And a lot kind of goes into that, but mostly what it really boils down to is self-esteem, how they view themselves, and how happy they are inside. And I don't even, not even in the corniest way though, because you got to think about this shit. Like whenever somebody is genuinely happy with their life, you never hear them shit on anybody, no matter how much someone probably could deserve it, you know, because they're just in that great of a headspace where they're like, you know what, you're just trying to, you're just doing the best you can. I'm in a good place. I'm happy in my life. And your success or failure has nothing to do with me. So, but when someone's in a bad headspace and they drop their coffee or they get fired from their job, and then somebody does something, and then you go, oh my God, you're making my day worse. Like, who do you think you are? And you're trying to drag everybody down to your level almost. And then it just turns into something that it absolutely shouldn't be. So it basically, in my opinion, boils down to like self-esteem. That's it.
I agree. No, I definitely agree with that. I think I would add one thing is that as streamers, we often have things like channel redemption, channel points, you know. So like you're playing a game and then they're like, drop your gun. So now you have to drop your gun, but you're playing on a team game, so now, you know, you're gonna.
That's dangerous, yes.
So there's also that too. So I think it's some of that along with self-esteem, and like they want to enjoy themselves and not have to like be a part of the show, you know. So it's, I was playing with some people one time, and it was like 4 people on a team together, and I was the odd man out, and they knew each other. And I was talking to chat, they're like, oh, you stream? Like, welcome to the stream, you know? And they were like, I'm like, I don't do that. That's a generic chat voice. And their friend was like, oh, he called you generic. I'm like, no, his voice is generic. Like, I don't do like the normal streamer, you know, like, welcome guys, we're gonna do this. I'm just like, hey, we're gonna play this game today, and then
like a YouTube intro or something like that.
That's what they expect from a streamer, but that's not what all streamers do. Like, I'm very, very chill when I stream. Like, it's hard to get a reaction unless I'm playing like a really intense chess game of auto chess, but we're not gonna talk about that. That was
okay, all right.
Well, yeah, but it's sometimes daunting to stream, and like for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have voice chat in the game on, and then have like push to mute on Discord. So
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I learned that early in the game, and some people still don't do it. They still talk to chat in the game, and like it's distracting, you know.
Yeah, and not everybody wants to hear. It's like you're on a phone call, but you put the phone on like speaker, and not everyone wants to be in that conversation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, see, they were there for the chess match I had. Like, that was the most hype they ever saw me ever on a stream.
The chess matches?
Yeah, it was auto chess, you know, where you have like people fighting on the screen. So it's not like actual chess. It's like they have abilities and you can power them up. But I'm really into the game, so like I was gonna win, and I won. I went crazy.
Nice.
I would have broke my mic if I was you.
Oh God, don't be like me. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, you talked a lot. It's been 2 hours.
Oh, has it? Gosh,
No,
I didn't even realize.
You drank
Time really kind of flew.
You drank no water.
Oh shit! I mean, I had coffee earlier. I mean.
Okay, I guess.
I mean, there's water in there somewhere.
You could list your socials and get them out. Let everybody know.
Okay, yeah, freaking. I mean, honestly, all my stuff is just Supermanthony. There's a 1 behind it on some platforms, but if you just type in Supermanthony, you'll see you'll see a black guy in a Superman outfit. That's me. I'm the black guy who's Superman. But yeah, Supermanthony on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube, and obviously Twitch. But yeah, freaking thanks for having me on the podcast. It was a lot of fun.
Wait, what's in your immediate future on Twitch? What they can see when they look at you on Twitch? Anything you plan to do?
Literally, I think I'm just gonna be dicking around on Genshin Impact for a little bit. I want to beat the rest of the story on that, and I want to just enjoy all of the weebness that comes behind it. And then we do some variety. So we'll see what we get into though. You know, it could be a little coin toss.
Cool. So thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Are you gonna be streaming anytime soon? Is it tomorrow? Right?
Tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern.
I gotta find somebody to raid. I know this is very, inappropriate, but whatever.
Oh, not at all, dude. Freaking, I get it. I 100% get it. Do your thing.
Yeah. Are you gonna come back at any time?
Come back. Of course. I'm
Yeah.
always lurking at your streams. What are you talking about?
I mean, like to be on stream like this, like in a podcast fashion, or more interviews in the future when you get to be a bigger streamer.
Oh, jeez. All
Like,
right. But yeah, I'm definitely down to be back for sure, man. This is
Okay.
good. I didn't even realize it was 2 hours. Holy shit.
That's what
I'm
happens
kinda flew.
sometimes, And
Mm-hmm.
every time I do it, it gets better. The first one was kind of like meh, but
Mm-hmm.
now that since I know you and we interact all the time, it's more like back and forth. So
Just two buddies just like shooting the shit. Yeah.
shooting the shit, man. All right, so we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much for being here. I really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
inviting me.
Definitely, man. I'll be talking to you in Discord in a little bit, though.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, man. Take it easy.